a working microwave on the second floor. I was so nervous that we now have a working microwave from Brad Lane.
I had to help carry it. Well, it was on a cart, but I had to help
CCO microwave brought to you by Brad Lane.
Yeah. You had to help bring it up?
I did. It was Lindsay and I. We had a cart and just wheeled it up. And
how much does a microwave even cost? Like brand new microwave? $200, $300?
Probably $20.
I was going to say under.
I mean, is this like rated for
it looks tremendous.
Is this just like a home microwave, which is probably an OSHA violation?
Who has an extra microwave at their house?
I don't know, but in a workplace, don't you need like back at TV when we wanted to get like a refrigerator under our desk, the maintenance guy who had more power than any manager ding dong at that station, Nate frickin' Melenda, whatever he said. Everyone is like, well, Nate says.
Well, let's go back to another part of this. So the boss made you carry it up? Is that within your?
It was a polite ask.
All right, that feels like a union issue.
I mean, probably they're trying to get my foot underneath it. Like
the boss did just have a medical event not that long ago. Can we have a little grace for the guy?
It's a him problem, an issue, as we call it.
Wow.
Can I just jump in with even one more point?
Yeah.
I followed DeRusha J, and I was very amused by this one. Love seeing Nora back on the morning show.
I like Nora on the morning show.
You are. Honestly, like you care if Nora is on the morning show.
I enjoyed it.
Be honest. Do you think you really loved it? Like there was a bump in the step because Nora was back there.
If there's anybody that could talk himself into being excited about it, Jason DeRusha.
Well, tomorrow I might be very sick and tired of her. And where's DeCopel?
Yeah.
I mean, I like her better than DeCopel. I'm not going to lie.
You know what that told me, Mark?
Wow.
Contract negotiations could be taking place with Jason.
You can reach out at Jason at jasonderusha.com. Any inquiries?
Yes.
I'm available.
Yes.
Barry Weiss, let's go.
Yeah. You love her work, don't you?
You know what? I guess this shows how far the media has fallen, that someone suggests doing coverage that's fair and balanced, and everybody acts like it's the end of fair media.
Yeah, I'm getting a call here. I got to take it. Sorry to interrupt.
That's okay. The weather is brought to you by B&M Tree Service.
Do they have a microwave division at B&M Tree Service?
A chilly night tonight as the sky clears out. 40 the overnight low in the Twin Cities. It will be cold enough up in parts of northern and western Minnesota for frost advisories and freeze warnings. Mostly sunny tomorrow. We start to warm up. A high of 64, up to 68 on Thursday. Expect highs in the 70s and 80s for Memorial Weekend.
All right. Thank you, Chris. 53 and cloudy at News Talk 830 WCCO.
So new, they squeak if you rub them. Fresh news stories and topics every day on News Talk 830 WCCO. You're thinking about it. Jason's talking about it. There are no breaks on bold takes here. Buckle up. This is Drive Time with DeRusha. Tuned up and rolling thanks to Luther Kia of Bloomington. Now, live from Minnesota's biggest microphone, here's Jason DeRusha.
That's a true story.
I mean, Chad Hartman came in and broke in with the urgency that would be required for some sort of breaking news event, but it was just about the microwave. Are you guys like microwaving meals at the workplace? Welcome to Drive Time. It's Jason. I can't think of the last time I even tried to use the microwave at work.
I don't do it anymore, but I used to back when we were studio coordinators, when that was a different thing.
How many years ago?
Was that what?
Before my time.
Yeah.
So
I mean, it's close to 10 at this point.
Okay. So that was your last microwave experience?
Well, because working as a producer, actually, a lot of it shifted in and around the pandemic because, we were doing more work from home.
Okay.
You can do more prep work from home. I don't have to physically be in the building for 8 hours a day doing work.
Yeah.
But when I was coordinating, when you were just running the board, when that was the focus, and your shift would be 8 hours and it would cross multiple shows, then you were here during meal times. There just wasn't any way to get around that. And so, yeah, I bring in
microwave.
food. Yeah,
Yeah.
I bring in food. I told you off the air that the date of the 35W collapse, I had food in the microwave when Jeff McKinney came busting into the studio and said, "We've got a bridge in the water. Get me on the air." And it was wall to wall from there on out. I never got to eat that meal. It sat in the microwave for the rest of the time.
Do you remember what you were microwaving?
I'm pretty sure it was my homemade spaghetti sauce, which is, not to pat myself in the back. It's life changing.
Yeah.
Jason, it's life changing. There's no two ways about it.
651-461-9226. Most important appliance for you at work. Is it the coffee maker? Is it the microwave? What's the most annoying food that someone else microwaves? It's got to be fish, right? Any sort of, if you're reheating fish at work, should you be
Fired?
I was going to say firing squad, but
I mean,
somewhere between those two, I think would be a fair approach.
it's fish or it's popcorn.
Oh,
Popcorn's bad.
popcorn. Interesting.
Because if you burn it even just a touch, forget about it. You shut the building down.
Jamie Yukas, too bad we're done with her. Notorious popcorn burner
Oh,
back in the day. Very annoying. Those things are annoying. When you think about like your workplace snacks, your meals, whatever, I do think that we have a funny set of expectations around like what the workplace should provide. Like, for example, if your workplace took out the coffee machine or the coffee maker, like, do you think compared to like raising your health insurance deductible versus taking the coffee maker out, I think people would be more likely to picket the company if you took out the coffee machine.
agreed.
And it is a funny thing. I remember talking to my old boss, Carrie Patey, in TV about the coffee maker, where, bosses, they're looking at their spreadsheets, they're counting their nickels, they're doing their thing. And Carrie was like, who decided that, like, workplace coffee is part of, like, the Bill of Rights of employment? That, like, you don't provide free soda. You don't provide free sandwiches. Who decided workplace coffee is the thing?
I don't know who decided it, but it's been decided.
It has.
Let's not mess around here. It has been decided.
It has been decided, right?
And it's not open for negotiation.
Well, this is what I said. And Joe on our YouTube stream is saying most important work appliance is the Keurig with the reusable or refillable pods. That's like the environmentally conscious way of enjoying the Keurig. But we have like some sort of space age coffee machine thing, right?
It's really more of a system, I would say.
Because you can get a coffee, you can get various roasts.
Yes.
None of it is particularly good, but it's all good enough. You know what I mean? Like,
there's macchiatos and there's all kinds of different versions of it.
Oh,
You
there
can
are
get in this thing. I
macchiatos?
think so.
is that real?
I have no idea. But there's different versions. I don't know if that's one of them. But there's different coffee-ish
Yeah,
drinks you can
sure.
get. I think, including you can get hot chocolate in.
Which is nice.
That's solid. It's a solid choice.
Anyone who microwaves fish at work, says a texter, should be fired. No compensation, no reference. Your desk items will be in a box on the sidewalk for you to pick up.
I'm not going to argue with that.
651-461-9226. Staff fridge is the most important. And the worst thing to microwave, a texter says, is clam chowder. Clam chowder is pungent, although not as pungent. I feel like the health. So Mike Binkley, who is a morning anchor before me at Channel 4, very trim, very fit, very healthy man. He had like cut up cubes of chicken breast every day, and I believe steamed broccoli. And
Of course.
steamed broccoli stinks. Broccoli stinks. So I'm not a supporter of microwave. Here's my general belief, and this is why I find it funny that Chad has been on the warpath about the microwave.
Let me just stop you right there. You're surprised that Chad's been on the warpath about anything?
But like, who cares if there's no microwave at work? Now, he happens to host the noon to 3 show, and maybe that's why he cares. I just couldn't give a rip about a microwave at work. So are we just airing grievances? Maybe that's what we should do.
Maybe.
What's your grievance about your workplace? Not just like my boss is a bum, but like, is there like some equipment or something that doesn't work? 651-461-9226.
Are you saying your boss is a bum? Is that what you just suggest? Lindsey Peterson from the Brain Trust says that Tim Ryan used to nuke fish on the weekends here when he first started. And to call it disgusting would be a disservice to that word.
I have a pet peeve here at work, a pet peeve that has irritated me so much that every year when we take our corporate survey where they're like, what could we do to make your, like when the bosses are like trying to make your life better.
Are they though?
They are not. They're trying to make you feel like they might possibly care about what you think. So I'll tell you after a break. My pet peeve that irritates me so much, it has been on my Odyssey survey for the last 3 years, which gives you a sense as to how much Odyssey gives a rip about what I think. Lots of text coming in. Keep it in. Workplace pet peeves. I like it. 651-461-9226.
Drive Time with DeRusha on News Talk 830 WCCO.
For the ones who get it done, Grainger offers the professional-grade products you need to get the job done with fast delivery you can depend on and access to technical product experts ready to help you meet any challenge. Call, click Grainger.com, or just stop by.
Mike Rowe here with another random fact. Those cracks on your walls aren't just cosmetic. They could mean your home is sinking. Whether it's drywall cracks, exterior cracks, or sticking doors or windows, do yourself a favor. Call Groundworks. I spent some time working with these guys, and they're the real deal. Their people are trained and certified to stabilize your foundation. Innovative Basement Authority is now Groundworks. Schedule a free inspection.
Licensed in all states where work is performed. See website for detail.
Is life insurance still on your list of New Year's resolutions? Now is the perfect time to add it. A buddy told me that securing life insurance sooner rather than later can help you lock in lower rates for years to come. So I added this to my list this year and got it done. I called SelectQuote and was shocked at how easy and affordable life insurance is. I'm 40 and got a $500,000 policy for $18 a month. My wife's also 40. And her $5,000 policy was only $16 a month. Plus, with SelectQuote's same-day coverage, no medical exam was required, and we were covered by the time we hung up. Checking this off my list felt great, but the peace of mind knowing my family is protected feels even better.
Call SelectQuote at 1-800-280-5858 for your free quote today. That's 1-800-280-5858. Or go to SelectQuote.com. That's 1-800-280-5858. Details on example rate at SelectQuote.com.
Staples presents That Was Easy.
So I was just at Staples. They're having a huge 40th anniversary sale.
40 years. Note to self, send flowers.
Up to 50% off. Save on chairs, paper, balloons, and more.
Balloons?
Yeah, Party City is now at Staples.
Surprise!
But the anniversary sale is only 2 weeks, so...
Quick, celebrate 40 years of savings at Staples with up to 50% off. Shop chairs, paper, break room supplies, and more. 2 weeks only in 523.
That was easy.
Shop Staples in-store, online, or on the app.
Don't just call. Sherry got a big red check. It's your your money and you can move on.
Jack got a big red check.
It just makes the moving process a breeze.
Nanette got a big red check.
They just make it very easy.
John got a big red check.
There is value in simplicity and ease.
Rosalind got a big red check.
Get this check, put it in the bank. My house is in good hands.
Angela got a big red check.
The Fresh Start has been amazing to us.
Say yes to a guaranteed cash offer on your house and get your big red check today. Apply right now at chrislindahl.com.
Buy your house today.
This is the story of the one. As a maintenance tech at a university, he knows ordering from multiple suppliers takes time away from keeping their arena up and running. That's why he counts on Grainger to get everything he needs, from lighting and HVAC parts to plumbing supplies, all in one place. And with fast, dependable delivery, he's stocked and ready for the next tip-off. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Spring cleaning isn't just for your house, it's for your life. If your job is getting old, it's time to clear the clutter and spring into IT. Go to My Computer Career.
My Computer Career helped me get the skills and certifications I needed to start a new life as an IT professional in months, not years.
Earn the certifications the top employers are looking for right now. Visit mycomputercareer.edu and take the free career evaluation to see if it's time to spring into IT. Financial aid is available to those who qualify, including VA benefits.
Jason DeRusha.
It's exciting and it's terrifying at the same time.
I know.
On News Talk 830 WCCO.
So many texts coming in. I love it. Your workplace pet peeves. For me, the Chad Hartman pet peeve about the microwave not being functional at the workplace, I don't care. 0% care about it. Let's lay on some of your pet peeves at 651-461-9226 before I share what has provoked me to the level that I put it on our employee survey every year. My pet peeve is when people don't clean up the toilet or courtesy flush when needed. Corollary from another texter, urinating everywhere except in the urinal. Dan, the men's restroom on our floor is in bad need of renovation.
And by renovation, you mean a stick of dynamite.
It's seen some things.
I don't think at this point, I think you just got to tear it all down to the studs and start over. I don't think there's any renovation at this point.
Well, we're about to embark on a bathroom renovation in our Maple Grove house.
Oh, yeah.
And you know the only way to do it is to tear it down to the stud.
Right.
It's not cheap either. Bathrooms are very expensive because it's a lot of tradespeople. You got a plumber, you got an electrician, you got a tile layer. Little spots. You can't have everybody working simultaneously, so it takes a long time, all of that. I did notice the executive bathroom on the third floor has been renovated.
Oh, it's lovely. Cambria, the whole bit.
Oh, interesting.
They're only here like 3 days a week, so it barely gets used. But yeah, it's great.
Back in the old days for me, up the street at the TV station, I used to get the mop and the bucket, and I would mop the floor of the men's bathroom because the floor was so sticky from splatter. Men are disgusting.
That's true.
A lot of bathroom issues, workplace pet peeve, cheap toilet paper. Another texter, years ago when I started employment at a hospital in Florida, the nursing supervisor told me if I used the last of the toilet paper in the women's bathroom and didn't replace the roll, she would put it on my annual evaluation.
Wow.
I mean, that is interesting. Is it every person for themselves when it comes to replacing bathroom supplies, or do you figure like the building will take care of it or the company will take it?
Well, in our
Not
case,
purchasing it, but like doing it physical.
In our case, there's a group of custodial engineers that take care of that sort of thing.
Yeah.
I wouldn't even know where to go to find.
Is that what we call them? Custodial engineers?
I thought it was a pretty good term. I figured they'd like it.
What I don't like about The Office as a texter is when the work wife is crabby because I don't need it there and at home. Yeah, I'm going to avoid comment on that. At my workplace, not a single person in the generations following Gen X knows how to recycle. So I have no idea what those kids learned in school.
We've sort of solved that problem here at our place.
I will tell you, if you have never been in the office at night when the crew comes through to empty the waste baskets.
And the crew are lovely people, by the way.
As someone who's worked in the early morning hours and seen how that works, and also has worked in the 3 to 6 p.m. hours and seen how that works, I can tell you that workplace recycling is among the biggest shams of the history of shams. And we live in Minnesota. I mean, we know a thing or two about fraud. But workplace recycling, you may have different bins.
And we do.
And we do.
Yeah.
But when you see the cleanup crew come around with one bin, you sort of know how that's going to shake out. Same guy would bring in an entire box of banquet chicken, put it in the microwave, and spend a half hour eating it up.
Wow.
I worked for the airlines for 30 years. Early on, we had a guy, and I won't give names, Dan Dudley, that used to cook salmon in one of the break rooms.
No.
And it would stink up the hallways of the whole concourse down below where the workers were.
I mean, fish is bad. I mean, any fish is bad, but salmon's one of the worst.
Coworker used to eat a can of straight tuna in his cube daily. Also a firing squad offense. Yeah. The tuna, I used to do tuna until I smelled it, you know. Not great.
Yeah, not good.
My gripe is this. Texter said, I stayed in the van just to hear your gripe and you never paid off the teas. I was trying to get you to the half hour. I was trying to get you to 29. And wait for it. This has irritated me so much. It's been on my employee survey for 4 years. The water out of our faucet in the kitchen, the drinking water, is to be charitably described as lukewarm. And it's disgusting.
Heavy on the minerals, can we say?
It is a fully loaded water situation.
Yeah, it's not good.
But water should be cold. Drinking water should be cold.
Yes.
And now I am for sure spoiled at home because we have the reverse osmosis, the Culligan. And it's so good. And here at work, now we have, doesn't Chad have like a water?
Well, and we used to have
sponsor?
a deal with a sponsor where we had the 5-gallon jugs and the whole bit out, and there's a couple different spots in the building that you could go get very good water. Not anymore, and not for a while. It's been.
I just like it to be cold. I'm not even upset about the taste of the water. I'm not trying to water sommelier on the bit.
I'll be honest with you. There were like 5 things that sprang to mind when you suggested that you had the one thing you put on the survey every year, and that wasn't
you didn't
any
guess
of
it.
Water wasn't any of them.
But I get a drink of water every day, and every day it makes me mad.
Yeah.
And so this is the thing about the workplace, right? It's always the little stuff. The big stuff, you're like, I understand why we don't have enough people or why we don't have a bigger marketing budget or whatever.
I thought, computers could be a possibility. The hole in the floor where you stand every day was a possibility.
That's a great.
The trim around the edge of the walls that you like to, and then the paint on the walls you like to complain
Well, now it is true. I have offered, you can confirm or deny this.
Okay.
But I have offered to come to work on a weekend and paint the studio.
Yeah,
and
you did.
fix
You have
the
done
trim.
That. Yep, you have.
But
you offered it in a way that suggested that there would be other people joining you in this effort.
I feel I could rally some people. Not you.
No.
I understand where you are on this.
0% chance that happens. I mean, if they want to pay me time and a half, I'll come in. I'll paint all day long.
Andrew says men's restrooms should just have a Metrodome trough and be done with it.
I was at a graduation ceremony yesterday. That's why I wasn't here, at Mariucci. And it had been a minute since I'd been in Mariucci and didn't realize they still have the troughs in Mariucci. I was very happy to find that out.
You were happy to use
I was,
trough?
because it's sort of a nostalgic thing at this point, because you just don't have troughs. Like, they even took the troughs out of the state fair. You know, troughs there anymore. I mean, it's just, it was just, oh yeah, this is a fun little memory.
Do you like the trough just because you're so gifted in that arena? You have no problem with stepping up?
I'm not going to comment on that on the air.
It's a reasonable question. I think this has been can you make a dub of this half hour and just send it to the Marconi people?
I can't see why we wouldn't.
Just, what are you going to do? Number one question all over social media today with the news that the NFL draft is coming to US Bank Stadium in Minneapolis and a couple other sites in the Twin Cities area has been, where are fans going to go? Where are the tens of thousands of fans going to show up? It's a question that I find puzzling, because I think the answer is sort of obvious, but maybe not. How many fans can we fit in front of US Bank Stadium with a big old stage and the TV equipment and everything? Do we have enough room? We're going to talk with the guy who put together the bid. So I assume he's got the answers as to how many fans are we going to be able to fit in. We'll talk about that. Draft coming to Minneapolis in 2028. Drive Time coming back in minutes on CCO.
This is Drive Time with DeRusha on News Talk 830 WCCO. Your Apple playlist has never warned you about an approaching thunderstorm. And that current events podcast can't break in with breaking news. And if an accident shuts down your way to work, yeah, good luck finding an alternate route with Book Club Radio. When you need something live,
we have breaking news.
Breaking news.
We have breaking news.
When you need someone here, News Talk 830 WCCO.
When the weather's perfect, the last thing you want is to be hauling furniture out of storage. With By the Yard, you're always ready for summer get-together. This premium outdoor furniture is built to stay outside all year long, looking just as good now as it will decades from now. Durable, timeless, and made for real life. Spend less time setting up and more time enjoying the moment. Visit the showrooms in Jordan, Maple Grove, or Woodbury, and shop today. By the Yard. Life is better outdoors.
You know that feeling when your body is tired, but your brain just won't shut off? We've all been there. Jordana here. That's where CBN comes in. CBN, short for cannabinol, is a naturally occurring hemp cannabinoid known for its relaxing, sleepy effects. Think of it like the lights dimming signal for your brain. While CBD helps you stay calm, CBN helps your body know it's time to rest. That's why we call it CB Night Night. Mini Leaf Night and Night Plus Sleep Gummies combine CBN, CBD, and CBG to help you fall asleep faster and stay asleep longer, and then wake up feeling refreshed. Free shipping this month at minileaf.com, the home of Minnesota's best legal products. Go to minileaf.com, MINNELEAF.com, and tell them Jordana sent you.
I love days like these at the pool, but my moderate to severe plaque psoriasis can sometimes take me out of the moment. I'm ready to make a splash with clearer skin thanks to Skyrizi, risankizumab Riza. Skyrizi is a prescription-only injection for adults who are candidates for systemic or phototherapy. At 4 months, most people saw 90% clearer skin when measured from head to toe, and many were even 100% plaque-free. People also saw significant improvement in psoriasis symptoms of pain, redness, itching, and burning.
Don't use if allergic to Skyrizi. Serious allergic reactions, increased infections, or lower ability to fight them may occur. Before treatment, get checked for infections and tuberculosis. Tell your doctor about any flu-like symptoms or vaccines.
Now there's nothing on my skin thanks to Skyrizi, and that means everything. Ask your doctor about Skyrizi, the #1 dermatologist-prescribed biologic in psoriasis. Visit skyrizi.com or call 1-866-SKY-RIZI to learn more.
Chad back here with you on CCO. I want to talk insurance and the group I have trusted for 30 years. Not just me, my father, my boys. We have been with Amber Scholl and Associates the entire time. They are with American Family, and trust is the right word. When something awful happens with your business or your home or your car, you need people who are available. You need individuals who have a team, and they've handled every situation. Amber and her team have done that. Let's be honest. Insurance rates are complicated. You need someone who knows this business in all ways. And I wouldn't be with Amber for 30 years unless I totally believed in her. Call today, 651-738-4811, and tell me you heard this spot from Chad on CCO.
Time to find out how it's moving on the roads and what's moving in via the skies. This is traffic and weather together on CCO, starting with a check of the commute.
Eastbound 694 is seeing some delays from University over to 35W, with heavier congestion building across the North Metro Loop. Also watch for slowing on Highway 65 near Highway 10 in Spring Lake Park, following the earlier crash in that area. Westbound 384 is crowded, leaving downtown Minneapolis out toward Highway 100. Northbound 52 is also seeing delays headed into downtown St. Paul from the Lafayette area. That's Look at the Roads. I'm Darren Kmeyer, News Talk 830 WCCO.
We got a show and it's guys and dolls at Chin Heads and Dinner Theaters, and it's a knockout. The Pioneer Press called it a must-see. Star Tribune called it blazing with brilliance. You got gamblers, romance, and show-stopping tunes. Guys and dolls, visit chinheadsanddp.com.
Now, the latest conditions and the outlook for the next few days with your CCO forecast.
Chanhassen Dinner Theater, Guys and Dolls, bringing us the weather forecast. Here is Chris Schaefer.
Sky clears out tonight and the temperatures plummet down to 40 around the Twin Cities. It will be colder to the north and west where there are frost advisories and freeze warnings. Plenty of sunshine tomorrow, a light wind, a high of 64. Pretty nice day. Even warmer on Thursday with a high of 68. Looking ahead to Memorial Weekend. Little rain expected on Friday, warming into the 70s and 80s by Saturday, Sunday, and Monday.
It's chilly right now in Prior Lake. It's 54 degrees on CCO.
You're listening to Drive Time with DeRusha.
It's so bold. It's adventurous. It's edgy. You know, it's
risky.
On News Talk 830 WCCO.
Twins Ticket Tuesday. So make sure you keep listening. Today is the day we are giving away a 4-pack of tickets to Twins versus Royal. So that's going to be Sunday, June 7th. Sundays are great. I was at the Twins game this last Sunday. So fun with the free ice cream for kids. They get either an ice cream sandwich or a popsicle. It's so good. All fans 12 and under get that free ice cream thanks to Target. So schedule the family outing. You know, kids run the bases after the game. It was great. I brought my nephews. We had a whole group. There were 8 of us there. It was really fun. So you can schedule your family outing by going to twins.com. One of the big stories today is that Minneapolis and the Twin Cities officially is getting the NFL draft. And I think a lot of us think about the draft as just sort of like, all right, you're calling names, like how big of a deal is it? But the reality is it has become an unbelievable spectacle. Unbelievable spectacle. The draft used to be a nothing. And like most things NFL, the draft today is huge. Matt Munier is the director and EVP of event development for Minnesota Sports and Events. He was the guy who put the bid together to try to bring the draft to the Twin Cities, and he's with us on the John Schuster Coldwell Banker Hotline. Matt, congratulations.
Thanks, Jason. Thanks for having me today. It's a historic day, a historic win for Minnesota. We can't wait for 2028.
It's mostly going to be around U.S. Bank Stadium in downtown Minneapolis. And the first question I want to ask you right away, because I have been surprised by people on Threads, people on Instagram, on X, all over social media. People around the world are posting pictures of U.S. Bank Stadium and saying, where the heck are all of the fans going to go? Is there enough? Now, first of all, some of these are just purposeful ding-dongs trying to get engagement by posting the other side of U.S. Bank Stadium where there's no park or anything. I think anyone who's ever been to a Vikings game knows there's 2-city block long park in front of US Bank Stadium. How big is the park? Is it big enough for all of the fans that now go to these NFL drafts?
Yeah, absolutely. That's a great question, Jason. So certainly the growth of the NFL draft is something that's really continued over recent years. And so we've had to adjust our plans, quite honestly, to accommodate that increased capacity need that the NFL requires. And so for us, we've proposed several different potential draft eater locations and options and footprints for the league. So those plans will get finalized over the next year or so. But certainly we are mindful of the increased demand and the capacity that we need to accommodate, not only with US Bank Stadium, which of course will be one of the anchors of our draft footprint, but also, as you mentioned, the commons, the surrounding streets. And then quite honestly, what we learned in Pittsburgh this year when we were at the draft, 805,000 fans over 3 days. It was absolutely bonkers. A lot of attendees just want to be present at one of the draft viewing parties throughout the city. They don't necessarily want to be in that sea of humanity shot looking at the draft stage. So what we're going to do is create multiple draft experiences for fans to kind of choose how they want to experience draft in 2028.
Is that number, so we hear that 800,000 number, in no disrespect to anybody who works in event marketing, but I think often people look at those numbers and they're like, come on, man, like 800,000, like what? Are we counting somebody who walked through like a fan fest or whatever? Like, what are we talking about in that sea of humanity? It was impressive in Pittsburgh. Right. I mean, how many are we talking? 300,000 people, 200,000 people?
Yeah, that's a great question. The NFL would probably be the best one to answer what that true number was from a head count perspective. But what we can tell you is, they extended their draft experience party, if you will, on both sides of the river in downtown Pittsburgh. So that's the expansive footprint that we need to accommodate in downtown Minneapolis. And that's exactly what we're going to plan to do.
Matt Munier is with us from Minnesota Sports and Events. Obviously, there are multiple venues that are available. Part of the reason you talk about this being in the Twin Cities is because, yes, US Bank Stadium in Minneapolis is going to be the anchor. But what are you looking at incorporating TCO out in Eagan or Mall of America, or do you need like the last round in my backyard in Bryce Park in downtown St. Paul? We could get a couple hundred people over, maybe on my rooftop deck. I don't know. What are the other locations that you guys are bringing into play?
Yeah, thanks. We're really intentional about not activating not just downtown Minneapolis, the immediate draft footprint, but the entire region, the entire state of Minnesota. We want to be a part of this celebration. So in our draft proposal to the NFL, we identified several venues in St. Paul, quite honestly, for some of the NFL's official ancillary event programming that needs to take place that comes along with the draft. Also, Mall of America is a great asset for our community. The NFL had a fantastic experience there in Super Bowl 52 with the media center and all of the fan activations that were out there. So we presented several options for the league to activate Mall of America, not just event week, but in the lead up and the promotion, because there's going to be a number of media touch points leading up to draft day in Minnesota. So we certainly are very cognizant that we are regional, we are a statewide entity. And of course, TCO, as you mentioned, is a great partner with our friends at the Minnesota Vikings. Flag football continues to grow rapidly, especially leading into 2028 with the Olympic Games in LA. So we're going to lean into that. We want to be intentional about staging youth flag football tournaments and clinics throughout the region, throughout the state. We think TCO is a perfect place to stage some of those games for flag football.
What was the biggest challenge? Because you guys have been working on this since we had the Super Bowl here in Minnesota. What were some of the biggest obstacles or biggest challenges in trying to get the draft here?
Yeah, you're exactly right. I mean, once the Super Bowl ended, we continued our relationships with the NFL, and really we're just waiting for our moment. When can we bring your next signature event to our community? Because they did have a great experience at Super Bowl 52. They know we have the infrastructure. We've got the transportation, hotels, the stadium, all of the necessary components. Our biggest challenge was the funding piece, quite honestly, right? And so it takes a number of resources to meet these host city obligations that the NFL outlines. And quite honestly, in Minnesota right now, we're at a competitive disadvantage compared to other markets that have sustainable funding models in place where when a big opportunity comes along, they can say, oh yeah, don't worry, we've already got the funding in place. That's not the case right now in Minnesota. That's our biggest challenge, is that we're starting off at zero. And thankfully, we've got amazing corporate partners who have stepped up big time to make this possible. We would not be here today as a future draft host city if it wasn't for our honorary co-chairs and the corporate community
Who
leaders
ponied up?
said,
Who do we need to make sure we go and support their businesses?
Yeah, absolutely. We've got a number of honorary co-chairs. So not only U.S. Bank, Medtronic, Excel Energy Center, and Mark Wilf with the Minnesota Vikings are just a few, as well as Ecolab and a few others who are coming on board as well. So
yeah,
we've got
it's a big
tremendous
deal.
support.
It's a big deal to bring this stuff for us, for sure. I will say the other thing is it's freaking cold here, Matt. Let's be real.
Yeah.
The Super Bowl was so cold. You guys did such a good job putting that thing on, but oof, it was brutal. The draft is late April. And so who knows? It could be 60. It could be 30. We have no idea that time of year.
Right. And, it's going to be probably similar weather. What we're hoping for is a nice spring day, a little bit warmer than Super Bowl 52, we'd imagine, we'd hope for.
I hope.
But we're going to have some indoor and outdoor activation. So fans will really be able to choose kind of their experience. And so that's one of the neat things about this footprint, right, is with U.S. Bank Stadium, with the Armory, with the Convention Center. So we're happy to stage multiple activations throughout downtown.
Good stuff. We're glad to have it. Matt Munier, congratulations, and I'll see you in Maple Grove.
All right. Always a pleasure, Jason. Sounds good. Thanks for having me.
Matt Munier, Maple Grove, restaurant capital of Minnesota. I mean, I'm sure they'd be happy to have some of the draft. We could do it on my block. We could shut down the street. Why not? 3:48 drive time. Back in just a minute with a conversation about graduations. They're too long.
Drive Time with DeRusha is fueled by Luther Kia of Bloomington. Go see Dan Dingman and the crew today, or always online at lutherkiaofbloomington.com.
J.H. and Sons at the Galleria in Edina should be your number one spot to go to if you've got a wedding, a special event, a graduation, a work interview. Any big moment in life should start at J.H. and Sons. It's Jason here. And I absolutely love this store. I love the Halberstadt family that has done such a heck of a job building this incredible company. And I want you to experience the top-notch service that you get at J.H. & Sons. Bryce, Kevin, Dean, the whole operation, everybody over there is going to take care of you like you won't believe. Not only incredible suits and tuxedos and formal wear and workwear, but I just went in and bought a ton of stuff for a trip that Alyssa and I are doing to Mexico this summer. So you want to look good on the beach. You've got travel. You've got date night. Go take care of yourself. We are dressing better in 2026, and we're doing it at J.H. & Sons. Sign up for their email list. It's jhnSons.com, but visit them at the store. They're at the Galleria in Edina. It's J.H. & Sons.
You know that Big Bargain detergent jug is 80% water, right? It doesn't clean as well.
80% water? I thought I was getting a better deal because it's so big.
If you want a better clean, Tide Pods are only 12% water. The rest is pure, concentrated cleaning ingredients.
Oh, let me make an announcement.
Attention shoppers, if you want a real deal, try Tide Pods.
Stop paying for watered-down detergents. Pay for clean. If it's got to be clean, it's got to be Tide Pods. Water content based on the leading bargain liquid detergent.
Ready or not, summer is coming, and Wayfair's Memorial Day clearance is on now. Right now through May 25th, get up to 70% off everything home at Wayfair. Plus, score amazing doorbuster deals all sale long and surprise flash deals on Memorial Day. We're talking thousands of products at every style and budget. Now is the time to save big on must-haves for your patio, backyard, and beyond. These savings won't last. So don't wait. Shop Wayfair's Memorial Day clearance now through May 25th.
Wayfair, every style, every home.
Gas prices are up. Luther Kia of Bloomington is there for you. It's Jason DeRusha. I love my Kia, and I love Dan Dingman and his team, plus their brand new facility. More room, more service bays, more Kia excellence. EVs, hybrids, the red hot 2027 Telluride. I just test drove it. It is awesome. Get to 35W and 494 and check out 0% financing on Sportages and Sorrentos at LutherKiaofBloomington.com.
Carpal tunnel syndrome, heart failure that doesn't improve with common medicines. These are some signs and symptoms associated with ATTR-CM, or the cardiomyopathy of ATTR amyloidosis, a serious heart condition with symptoms that get worse over time. Amvuttra, vutrisiran, is a prescription medicine given by a healthcare provider that treats ATTR-CM in adults to reduce heart-related death, hospital stays, and urgent visits. In a clinical study, Amvuttra was proven to help people live longer and have fewer heart-related hospital stays and urgent visits over 3 years compared to placebo. Amvuttra lowers the amount of vitamin A in your blood, which can affect vision. Other side effects include pain in the arms or legs, pain in the joints, and shortness of breath. These are not all the possible side effects of Amvuttra. For prescribing information, call 1-833-256-2748 or learn more at amvuttra.com. Ask your doctor about Amvuttra for ATTR-CM.
Time to find out how it's moving on the roads and what's moving in via the skies. This is traffic and weather together on CCO, starting with a check of the commute.
Things are moving again on both sides of 35E around Maryland. The incident has been moved to the shoulder. Traffic is heavy in the area. On the east side of the metro, 494, 694 north, right around 94 and Woodbury is starting to tighten up. Southbound 35W remains backed up from downtown Minneapolis through the crosstown toward 494, while eastbound 94 is stop and go in St. Paul approaching Snelling. That's a look at the roads. I'm Darren K. Meyer, News Talk 830 WCCO.
Get your home into the comfort zone with Metro Heating and Cooling.
An air conditioner at Metro Heating and Cooling is, on average, only $5,400 installed. Find out more at metroheating.com.
Now, the latest conditions and the outlook for the next few days with your CCO forecast.
Metro Heating and Cooling bringing us the forecast tonight. Mainly clear, little chilly, low of 40. Tomorrow we only get to 68. Thursday, only 68. The average high is 70. Frost advisory and freeze warnings outside the metro tonight. This is why you're not supposed to plant anything until Mother's Day, right? Oh, we already have Mother's Day. Well, if you planted stuff on Mother's Day, I guess, tough luck. It's a little compassionate tribute from your friends here at News Talk 830 WCCO.
Drive Time with DeRusha, where the conversation's always in drive. Thanks to Luther Kia of Bloomington on News Talk 830 WCCO.
Dan Cook was not with us yesterday because he was at a graduation ceremony. And Dan, you have thoughts on graduation ceremony?
Look, this was nephew number one.
We love him.
I adore this kid. Absolutely 1,000% adore this kid and could not be more proud of him. Graduated Carlson School of Management at the U. But he graduated along with approximately 400 other kids. And I'm not being hyperbolic in that number.
That's sort of a typical, even a high school graduation is going to be 400 to 500 to 600 kids.
It was 200, or it was 2.5 hours. And there's nothing I wouldn't do for this kid. So I will sit through 2.5 hours. But then I'm going to go on the radio the next day and say 2.5 hours is just obscenely too long. And it's not the U's fault per se. I mean, I think that's as efficiently as that thing could have run, right? You had the president speak. You had the guest speaker do the commencement address. You had two different students speak, relatively short. And then here we go. Let's start reading the names. And they have it down now where the kid brings the card up and it's like a scan and an AI voice reading the names.
Oh, really?
It's not even a person standing there reading the names at this point.
So it never messes up.
Exactly. So there's no,
Although would AI get everybody's name right?
Well, I assume you can go in ahead of time and make sure that it says your name how you
it,
want it to say your name, right? That'd be the point of
Would
using AI.
would you consider changing the pronunciation of your name to like Donald Trump, Jesus Christ? I would.
I imagine somebody is going through.
I'm not the
double-checking.
first to think of.
I'm pretty sure you're
all
not.
right.
I'm pretty sure you're not. So I don't know that you can do it any more efficiently. I think you just got to divide it up. I think you just shouldn't have a ceremony with more than like 200 kids.
Graduation for like A through G,
something like that.
What if you didn't read the names?
I mean,
it'd go a lot quicker.
It really would. It really would.
I mean, I feel like
because it's not like you're getting your individual diploma anymore. They just give you the
get
little
a sleeve,
the little
the
folder
jacket.
for it, and then So do we really got to read names? I don't know.
What if you could eliminate one part of the graduation? What would it be? Would it be the names? Would it be the guest speaker? Who is the guest speaker?
The CEO of Red Wing Shoes.
Oh, pretty good.
Not bad, right?
That's pretty good.
And she did a nice job.
Do you remember who your guest speaker was?
Not even remember.
I don't either.
Nope.
And if it's not a celebrity, like, does anyone care?
I think that's part.
I
of the
think
thing,
mine
right?
was the CEO of Sears. Remember
Yeah,
Sears?
Sure, that worked out well.
You know, I didn't listen to any of that BS advice. That
Well, that's just the thing. Does
crook
anybody ever?
didn't- Yeah.
So you could get rid of that. I don't know that you really got to have
Maybe
the
you get
kids
rid of the
speaking
names?
anymore. I just don't think anybody needs to speak.
Well, I spoke at my graduation, and it was
Prove my point.
brilliant,
Unnecessary,
unbelievably insightful. People are still talking about.
No, they're not.
My mom is, because I didn't thank her sufficiently. Continental Diamond time check. How about a graduation timepiece from Continental Diamond in St. Louis Park? It's 3:58. Drive time continues.
Download to see if you qualify. Not all customers will qualify. Transfer fees may apply. No Albert subscription required. Albert is not a bank. Albert Instant Loans are issued by FinWise Bank, member FDIC. Not an actual client. Terms apply.
Kylie, what's wrong? I just got hit with a car repair bill. I'm behind on rent, and I feel like I can never save any money.
Have you tried the Albert app? Albert is your financial assistant, helping you find ways to save and create custom budgets to actually grow your money. Plus, you can get up to $10,000 for big expenses or advance up to $1,000 fast when you need cash right away.
Albert can get me up to $10,000?
Exactly. Albert spots you in a pinch and helps you grow your money in the long run.
I'm downloading Albert right now.
Download the Albert app and use promo code GO to borrow up to $10,000 for whatever you need. The Albert app helps you budget better and save more money so you reach your financial goals faster. Download the Albert app right now and use promo code GO to borrow up to $10,000. Use code GO to borrow up to $10,000.
Check engine or ABS light on? Take the guesswork out of your warning lights with O'Reilly Veriscan. It's free. Ask for O'Reilly Veriscan.
O'Reilly Auto Parts.
Wish your life came with a warning app?
That dog does not want to be petted.
Well, life doesn't always give you time to change the outcome, but prediabetes does. Take the 1-minute test today at doihaveprediabetes.org. Brought to you by the Ad Council and its pre-diabetes awareness partners.
Streaming live via the Odyssey and iHeartRadio apps. This is News Talk 830 WCCO 1029 HD2 Minneapolis, St. Paul. This is CBS News on the Hour, your home for original reporting.
I'm Jennifer Kuiper. The federal government broadens the deal to resolve President Trump's $10 billion lawsuit against the Internal Revenue Service over the leak of his tax returns. Loyola Law School professor Lori Levinson explains.
In a truly unprecedented move, the U.S. government has agreed to permanently drop tax claims connected to President Trump and his family and the Trump Organization. And this all happened because, frankly, President Trump tells the Attorney General and the agencies, including IRS, what to do.
In San Diego, the Islamic Center shooters met online, left writings expressing hate. An FBI special agent in charge, Mark Remley, says they've searched 2 homes.
During those searches, we found and seized numerous firearms from 2 of those locations, including numerous pistols, rifles, shotguns, ammunition, tactical gear, as well as electronics.
3 people were killed yesterday, and investigators say the 2 shooters took their own lives. Federal authorities have charged several Chinese companies with deliberately restricting the world's production of shipping storage containers ahead of the COVID-19 pandemic. CBS's Cammie McCormick.
Authorities allege the company slowed production just before the global supply chain came under enormous strain.
At the height of the COVID pandemic, the defendants lined their own pockets by choking the world's supply of shipping containers.
Acting Assistant Attorney General Omid Asefi.
This case affected every American store shelf and every American home.
He said the conspiracy roughly doubled the prices of standard shipping containers and increased the container manufacturers' profits by nearly 100-fold.
Voters are going to the polls today for key primaries in Alabama, Georgia, Pennsylvania, Idaho, and Oregon. In Kentucky, Republican Congressman Thomas Massie, who pressed the White House for more transparency on the Jeffrey Epstein case, squares off against Trump-backed Ed Gallerine. But Massie is expressing confidence in his run.
He knows I'm tough to beat. He's tweeted probably, 8 or 10 times in the last 72 hours. He's literally losing sleep over this race because he's in with both feet.
Fire crews have been working to contain a wildfire in Simi Valley near Los Angeles. Fire officials say the Sandy Fire has burned almost 1,400 acres since starting Monday morning. Tens of thousands of people are under evacuation orders. Andrew Dowd with the Ventura County Fire Department.
We're using both ground resources and aviation resources. So we have fixed wing aircraft that are available to us that we'll be able to start flying and providing retardant drops.
The fire is only 5% contained. This is CBS News.
It's one of the most successful law and justice programs in television history that continues to uncover the truth. 48 Hours, Saturday on CBS and streaming on Paramount Plus.
Minnesota's trusted voice, every hour. Let's get you caught up with what's happening now on News Talk 830 WCCO.
It's cloudy and 54 degrees at 4:03. Good afternoon. I'm Mark Fry. We are hearing from Minnesota's new Chief Justice this afternoon. Governor Walz named Theodore Gaiadis as the new Chief Justice of the Minnesota Supreme Court. She spoke in the Capitol Rotunda about the importance of having a strong judiciary free of bias.
It must promise independence, that our courts will make decisions based on the law and the facts, free from outside pressure.
Gaiadis was named to the bench by Governor Walz back in 2024. Vice President J.D. Vance says the Justice Department is investigating Representative Ilhan Omar for possible immigration fraud. Vance, who is tasked with the Trump administration's efforts to combat benefit fraud, has claimed Omar committed fraud.
I don't want to prejudge an investigation. I mean, you read the things about Ilhan Omar and about, who she married and whether she didn't marry this person or that person. It certainly seems like something fishy is there, but everybody's entitled to equal justice under the laws. So we're going to investigate it. We're going to take a look at it. If we think that there's a crime, we're going to prosecute that crime. And that's something the Department of Justice is looking at right now.
Omar has faced repeated questions over the years about her immigration status, family finances, and potential ties to fraud in Minnesota. The Minneapolis City Council is set to vote on a controversial $6 million land purchase for a police training facility.
Members forwarded that vote to Thursday after nearly 2 hours of discussion during their latest meeting. Ward 2 Council member Robin Wansley says the plan wastes taxpayer dollars on a project that could end up costing as much as $40 million down the road.
It's important that we are not spending our precious resources inefficiently and on wish lists. There are a multitude of public safety initiatives that do not cost $6 to $40 million that can make our community safer.
Supporters of the plan argue the project is essential to modernizing police reform citywide. Taylor Rivera, News Talk 830 WCCO.
And Minnesota Timberwolves general manager Tim Connolly today holding an end-of-season press conference to talk about the future of the team.
Although he likes the core of this group, Wolves GM Tim Connolly says everything is on the table when it comes to improving the roster.
We have a lot of confidence in our guys. But again, it would be disingenuous to be sitting here in front of this crew and say, hey, we're happy with the 6th seed. We're happy with not being a home court playoff team. We're happy that our last 3 closeout games, have been lopsided. So we have to be realistic about what we have, which is way more good than bad, but know that we're not good enough right now.
As for retaining their own free agents, Ayo Dosunmu is a top priority.
We're pretty optimistic that we'll get something done there, and I think he's everything we thought and more.
Ari Bergeron, News Talk 830 WCCO.
It's 4:06, traffic and weather on the way.
Time to find out how it's moving on the roads and what's moving in via the skies. This is traffic and weather together on CCO, starting with a check of the commute.
Northbound 100 is crawling between Excelsior Boulevard and 36th due to a crash. Eastbound 694 is seeing steady brake lights from University through 35W with ongoing construction restrictions in Fridley. Also, a crash in southbound 35W near 60th Street in Minneapolis is causing additional slowing through Ridgefield. Southbound 35E is also slowing into downtown St. Paul from Little Canada, and westbound 394 is crowded, leaving downtown Minneapolis out toward Highway 100. Darren Kimeyer, News Talk 830 WCCO.
With a well-designed will, trust, and estate plan, you can have peace of mind. Choose Matt Gutman of Gutman Law to give yourself peace of mind. Call him now, 612-895-1616 at gutmanlaw.com. Gutman Law, peace of mind today for tomorrow.
Now, the latest conditions and the outlook for the next few days with your CCO forecast.
The weather is brought to you by Gutman Law, Wills Trust, and Probate Law. Visit gutmanlaw.com. Here's Chris Schaefer.
A chilly night tonight as the sky clears out. 40 the overnight low in the Twin Cities. It will be cold enough up in parts of northern and western Minnesota for frost advisories and freeze warnings. Mostly sunny tomorrow. We start to warm up. A high of 64, up to 68 on Thursday. Expect highs in the 70s and 80s for Memorial Weekend.
All right, thank you, Chris. It's cloudy and 54. I'm Mark Fry, News Talk 830 WCCO.
Let's be honest, it's a lot cheaper than therapy.
Robert, tell me more about your feelings.
Talk it out. Here, News Talk 830 WCCO. Good questions. Topics you'll probably talk about at dinner. Places to go for dinner. This is the Ride Home Reimagined. Welcome to Drive Time with DeRusha. Thanks to Luther Kia of Bloomington. Now, here's Jason DeRusha.
Man, Ilhan Omar being investigated. Those guys are obsessed with her, aren't they? The right is obsessed with Ilhan Omar. I don't know. We're not opening the phone lines. I'm not doing it. I'm not giving you a chance to tell me why you think bop, 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 bop. Her voters have elected her time and time again. If there's any real evidence you don't think we would know about it by now, give me a break. So stupid. She represents her people. I'm not saying she represents me. Just the vice president of the United States today, that felt like that was an important issue to raise. Like, yeah, we're going to come on. Okay, here's where we're starting. Because, Cook, like if I said, let's open up the phone lines on whether people think Ilhan Omar should be investigated. Do we want to do that? And I'm in a good mood. I don't want to do this to me. I don't want to do it to you. So we're going to talk about something that's been giving me joy lately. And that has been Spencer Pratt. Never thought that the former reality star from the show The Hills was going to give me joy in a political sense. But I have a curiosity for you. And there's a lot to talk about with Spencer Pratt, right? He's a registered Republican, a Republican winning for mayor in very liberal Los Angeles, California. Seems amazing and unlikely, and it probably still is unlikely. But I wonder if it's a blueprint for what a Republican or what at least a center or center-right person could achieve here in Minnesota, maybe even in Minneapolis. Because Republicans in Minneapolis and Minnesota, Republicans love to moan and bellyache and bitch about the lefties and the liberals in Minneapolis and St. Paul, and nobody steps up to run. Nobody steps up to run. Nobody has an idea. Nobody has a real campaign, which brings us to Spencer Pratt. Could a Spencer Pratt-style candidate win in Minnesota, win in Minneapolis? 651-461-9226. And maybe you don't know what it is about Spencer Pratt that has been catching fire, pun intended, in LA. Spencer Pratt lost his home in the wildfires. And he went on social media sharing his frustration, about it. And it caught virality all around the country. Ripping the mayor, ripping the way that the city handled the fire, the Palisades wildfire, and ripping the recovery efforts. At first, much like the Jesse Ventura campaign here, people just thought it was a novelty act and whatever. But today it looks like he has an actual shot of making it to a runoff, and most recent polling shows him almost head-to-head with the current mayor of Los Angeles, Karen Bass. She is not popular because of obvious reasons. That fire, she was out of the country. She was perhaps out to lunch as far as the response to that went. But what I find interesting about Spencer Pratt is that he is raw, honest, not politically correct. And part of that is what you hear in some of his videos that have gone viral. Just over the last couple of days, there was a video that went viral, sort of a Fresh Prince of Bel-Air, because TMZ said, look, this guy's painting a picture of himself as like, because he lost his home, he's living in an Airstream kind of trailer, but really he's living at the Bel Air Hotel. And so what would a normal Minnesota style, boring word salad candidate do? First of all, they duck our interviews because that's what almost every elected, it's only the Democrats who come on the show. Most of the Republicans don't come on. Lisa Dameth does, to her credit, but everybody else, any other U.S. Congress, they won't come on. That'd be move one. Move two would be so many words that you'd be left like, what? What was just said? Here's what Spencer Pratt releases.
Now this is a story all about how my life got turned upside down, and I had to take a minute to run for mayor. I'll tell you how I became the prince of a town called Bel Air.
You remember the Fresh Prince of Bel Air, the TV show. That's the red.
West Los Angeles, Palisades. In my backyard is where I spend most of my days. Feeding hummingbirds, relaxing all cool, avoiding all the bums outside of the school. When a couple politicians who were up to no good started making trouble in my neighborhood. I got in one little fire. My mom got scared and said, you're moving in with Harvey Levin in Bel Air.
He called them bums. That stood out to me. Do you think Minnesota would respond to this kind of straight talk, raw talk, real talk? Because I think we would. I think a populist campaign running against the status quo, the powers that be, the political structures that have not served most of us the way we would like it to be served. And it's a conversation to me that goes beyond party lines. So what is Spencer Pratt upset about? He's upset about the way the fire was handled. Well, that's the kind of stuff like here you could be upset at the way the potholes are not filled, or how snow doesn't get plowed, right? Like that's just city stuff. That's livability stuff. He doesn't like seeing homeless people all over the place. Well, guess what? Most people do not like seeing homeless all over the place. And I think that this state has been overtaken by this super cautious political correctness that nobody wants to risk offending someone else. And so we don't ever talk about anything. We don't talk about anything because, someone might be offended by that. And we need to honor the unhoused and the struggle. Like, yes, you can be compassionate. You can be compassionate and empathetic, but you could also say, we don't want tent cities. We don't want the bums taking over the neighborhoods, dropping needles all over the place, doing drugs out in the street. I think there is an appetite out there for populism, for standing up for regular people and regular stuff. And yes, helping people who are in need. I think stylistically, there are things And I'm not saying is Spencer Pratt the guy. I'm not saying is hit like I don't know, right? I worry about us more than I worry about the issues of California. But the style and the approach of just being real, I like it. I like it. I think we need more straight talk and less doublespeak. 651-461-9226. Jeff in St. Paul is on the CCO Talk and Text line. Thanks for listening, Jeff. Would you like this kind of, like I said, calling homeless people bums in the song kind of stood out to me?
Well, a populist candidate could be popular in Minnesota. It's been proven before. It's not so much like just name calling the people that we don't want to see, like calling somebody a bum. It's like, what are you actually going to do about the problem? Yeah. And the one thing that
totally fair.
The one thing that made Trump popular is he had some policies. Right? He said he's going to build a wall.
Yeah.
He said he's going to do tariffs. He said he had some ideas that kind of sparked the imagination of, regular people.
Right.
The problem is, in my estimation, not even Ronald Reagan could win a GOP primary these days.
Yeah. Yep.
And
it's true.
Until we get a whole bunch of regular people going to the caucuses and picking the candidates who are closer to the middle than to the the edge of the world.
Yeah.
I think we're there.
Jeff, thank
you.
Jeff makes such a good point, because in California for mayor, you have, just like here though, you have a nonpartisan situation. So you could have the primary where you could have a Spencer Pratt-style Republican running for mayor. I think Jeff's right. You're never going to get a straight-talking Spencer Pratt-style guy at statewide level. I think you could in the cities if anybody wanted to try. 651-461-9226. Maybe you think I'm crazy. Some of the texters and commenters on YouTube think I am. Join them at youtube.com/WCCO radio.
This is Drive Time with DeRusha on News Talk 830 WCCO.
Have you ever had a full body skin checkup? It's Jason for my friends at Tureen Dermatology. And I ask because that full body skin checkup is your entree point to having some self-assurance that you don't have skin cancer to worry about. May is Skin Cancer Awareness Month, and Tureen Dermatology every day is Skin Cancer Awareness Day. Every day they're taking a look at WCCO radio listeners. And because Dr. Mohiba Tureen and her team are so well trained, they know exactly where to look, different skin colors, skin types. They know what they're looking for, that irregularity, that strange shape or size. You might not recognize it, but they do. And that's why I go year after year after year for that full body skin checkup. Do you have a family history of skin cancer? Get a checkup. Do you have a mole or a mark that just won't heal? Go to Tureen Dermatology. You can get in fact, in as soon as 3 weeks. If you go to the website, TureenDermatology.com, TAREEN dermatology.com, you can request an appointment today at any one of their 11 locations. I go to Roseville. You might go to Faribault or Maplewood or Eagan, Lakeville, Osceola, Sandstone. So many great locations. Check it out at TureenDermatology.com.
It's Staples' 40th anniversary, and they've got deals worth celebrating. Now through May 23rd, enjoy up to 50% off. Save on paper, chairs, custom print, balloons, and more. 4 decades in business deserve some seriously smart savings. Staples, that was easy.
They may take our furniture, but we'll give them freedom.
Watching too many movies again?
Not at all. During Barofka's Memorial Day event through June 8th, folks have the freedom to select our Craftsman Direct furniture with a furniture protection plan and get free metro delivery.
Fabulous furniture for the bedroom and more.
95.67% is made in the USA. with free, no interest, no down payment financing for 12, 18, even 24 months.
That's freedom to enjoy now and pay later.
And up to $200 in trade-in cash on your old stuff.
So what you're really saying is that they will take our furniture and we will take theirs.
It takes a brave heart to give folks all this freedom. Now, can you help me get this blue paint off my face?
Oh, Jim. Barufka's, no gimmicks, haggling, or hard to understand pricing.
And Minnetonka, Woodbury, and Burnsville. Decidedly different.
I'm Piera Palazzolo, VP of Digital Marketing for the American Management Association, a company focused on the management training skills needed to enhance the careers of business professionals. We did our research when it came to the best companies for website development and chose AmericanEagle.com. And we couldn't be happier. AmericanEagle.com worked closely with us to understand the front and back end requirements needed to launch an e-commerce website that could handle the complexities of running thousands of seminars nationwide. Our robust new website and improved SEO saw immediate increases in site traffic and web revenue. If you're in need of managerial effectiveness and success, visit our website at amanet.org. If you're in need of a website that provides an unparalleled consumer experience, I highly recommend AmericanEagle.com.
Transform your business today. Dial 877-WebNow1 for a free digital consultation with AmericanEagle.com.
Jason DeRusha.
You are not part of the problem. You're actually part of the solution. Thank you.
On News Talk 830 WCCO.
Baby, I love it. I love it. I love it. I love it when we fight, and I like it when you mean. We don't have to get into what that says about me. Oh, shut it. Baby, I love it. I love it.
Win Ticket Tuesday today, so don't forget to keep listening for your chance to win a 4-pack of tickets. Caller 3 is going to get those tickets Sunday, June 7th. 1:10 game, Twins at Royals. Free ice cream for the kids. They get to run the bases after the game on Sunday. All pretty good stuff. We had a beautiful time at the game on Sunday. I'll be posting a video on Instagram later tonight so you can see what is it like to throw out a first pitch. So I'll show you where they take us and the whole bit. So look for that and give me a follow. DeRusha J on Instagram, the Jason DeRusha on TikTok, and on Facebook as well. We're talking about populist candidates. We're talking about Spencer Pratt. Texters say, wake up, Jason. Pratt cannot win as the voting in Minneapolis is rigged for the Democrat Marxists. You live in one-party rule in the People's Republic of Minnesota. Well, I would say no Democrat is ever going to win in Minneapolis the way, no Republican is going to win in Minneapolis the way that Republicans treat the city. Now, I will say I don't think it's going to be like that forever. I really don't. I think that a younger generation and a more ambitious generation is going to look at lesson one was the lesson of the Trump administration, that populism is appealing. And people will vote for someone who is standing up for the people more than even going down the usual party affiliation. And I think Donald Trump is an example of that. He has appealed to people who don't traditionally vote Republican because he speaks the issues that people care about in a way that people understand. Do I agree with Donald Trump? Sometimes. Would I vote for Donald Trump? No. But imagine a non-problematic Donald Trump. Interesting, right? Why do you think Republicans don't even try in Minneapolis or in St. Paul? To me, I don't understand that. Like, if you look at the demographics of this state, and if you say, like, someday I'd like to have Republicans in charge of this state, you got to start making effort in the inner ring suburbs and in the city.
One of the challenges Republicans have faced in this state over the years has been fundraising. And so
party's a mess from a statewide standpoint. Right?
So you have precious few resources to invest. Where are you going to invest them? In places where you have a really good chance to win, or in places where it's traditionally been very, very difficult for Republicans to win. I cannot sort of understand that. I also applaud the racism, the sheer, utter, ridiculous racism you edited out of that text.
Wasn't that nice of me?
Oh my goodness! So, I can't imagine why that attitude doesn't play in Minneapolis. It's just crazy to me.
There's some of that, but I'm
not accusing all
yeah.
Republicans of having that kind of racism, but that particular individual needs to really look in the mirror.
Texter says if this was Minnesota, Spencer Pratt would have used a Prince song and then got sued by the estate. Maybe true. I do think we struggle with straight talk on real issues in this state. And I will convict myself right there along with everybody else that there is being compassionate and being concerned about the way other people, especially people in a minority or a very small group of people, will take the way you talk is a good thing. Objectively, it's a good thing. And it can be an obstacle in talking about real issues. If you're worried about the way you're going to say stuff all the time, sometimes you just say, you know what, I'm not going to participate. I don't want to take a risk that I'm going to say something and it's going to get people to hate me. And I've thought about that, right? Like in this job, to say anything, you are putting yourself out there at a risk that people are going to be mad at you or disappointed in you. When we were talking just the other day about audiobooks, and I posted on our show TikTok, DeRusha Show on TikTok, a video about, which is better, reading or listening to an audiobook. And somebody commented like, well, it's pretty ableist to say that it's not really reading if you're listening to an audiobook. It's like, well, I guess does anyone feel like we have better outcomes today because everyone's, walking around on eggshells worried about?
No, and that's why,
I think it's part of the Spencer Pratt appeal that he's just saying it. Like, I don't want people doing drugs in the open. I don't want homeless tents. I don't want bums on the street. I don't want criminal. Like, this is not controversial stuff. Almost everyone thinks this.
The problem is that the only people that are willing to talk like that, generally speaking, are folks, quote unquote, outside the system, right? It's how Jesse won, the governor's race when he ran the governor's race. The problem is that the folks that are outside the system don't have the institutional knowledge to operate very well within the system. So yeah, it sounds great, right? They talk straight, they tell it like it is, and that's all sounds really, really good until those people get into office and realize they don't know what they're doing and don't know how to operate within the framework of the system and actually get things done. And we realize really quickly, oh, wait, we have to go back to the institutional folks, but the institutional folks we don't like because they won't tell us how it is. And so it's this great catch-22 where, it sounds really good in theory in the campaign, but it doesn't actually work pragmatically. Usually.
It's true.
If you could figure out how to split that atom, you'd have something for sure.
Klobuchar will be interesting to me. If she gets it, who knows? I'm more a fan of Lisa Dameth when she was actually straight talking instead of cautious Lisa Dameth that we have now, where she's worried about upsetting her Republican primary base. But if we can just talk about real problems and not be so worried and not assume that if someone says something wrong, it's because they're whatever-ist, misogynist, racist, sexist, anti-ist, I think it's better to talk about stuff. Let's break. In a minute, a St. Paul institution did a major shift over the last couple weeks. Alary's, at one point, was known for maybe being a little like Hooters before Hooters was a thing. Now they have a kids menu. What's going on in St. Paul? We'll talk with the owner of Alary's in just a minute. DeRusha Eats coming up on CCO.
Drive Time with DeRusha, tuned up and rolling. Thanks to Luther Kia of Bloomington.
Do you want to take the risk of listing your house on the open market, it's Jason here from my friend Chris Lindahl and chrislindahl.com. It is a risk, right? There was a time that when you listed your house, maybe you owned it for years after years, that it was a guaranteed check, you know? But we just saw today that home values in Minnesota are down. The world is full of uncertainty. And in an uncertain world, more and more people are saying, you know what, just give me the sure bet. Give me the big red check. Get me to chrislindahl.com. You've probably seen Chris giving out these big red checks to people in your area, people saying yes to a guaranteed cash offer. The idea is that you could trade in your house just like you trade in your car. You could trade in uncertainty and stress for speed and convenience. Alyssa and I work with Chris. I've known him for almost a decade now. He knows how to lower stress when selling a house, and it does not surprise me that more and more people are saying, give me a big red check. Find out if you should be in that mix. There's a free smart seller guide right at the top of the page at chrislindahl.com. Fill out that smart seller guide and figure it out, which is better for you. They'll help you, chrislindahl.com. Get a guaranteed cash offer. Get your big red check at chrislindahl.com. Terms and conditions apply.
Every day, your ears put up with a lot. Give them something they'll actually enjoy. News that matters. Conversations worth hearing. News Talk, a trio. WCCO. Your ears deserve better.
Mike Rowe here with another random fact. Those cracks on your walls aren't just cosmetic. They could mean your home is sinking. Whether it's drywall cracks, exterior cracks, or sticking doors or windows, do yourself a favor. Call Groundworks. I spent some time working with these guys, and they're the real deal. Their people are trained and certified to stabilize your foundation. Innovative Basement Authority is now Groundworks. Schedule a free inspection.
Licensed in all states where work is performed. See website for details.
Thinking about selling your business in the next few months or the next few years? The strongest sales don't happen by accident. They happen with a plan. For 45 years, Opportunities in Business has helped Upper Midwest owners exit with confidence. Whether your business is worth $500,000 or $50 million, we provide the expert guidance you deserve. Visit OIBMN.com today for a complimentary valuation and consultation. Start early, protect your value, and control your timing. That's OIBMN.com. Opportunities in Business. Experience matters when opportunity knocks.
Hey, Adam Carter here, inviting you to join me November 30th to explore tropical Costa Rica with Colette. We'll stay in the Monteverde Cloud Forest, a place you have to see to believe, where trees grow to heights of 100 feet and the wildlife is abundant. From butterflies to sloths. Enjoy breathtaking views in Nature's Museum. Visit a coffee plantation to learn the history from the bean to the cup. Plus, relax in a resort on the most beautiful beach of Guanacaste. This and so much more. Colette handles all the details. Flights, meals, hotels, and local experiences. Your only job is to have the time of your life. Do not miss out. Call Colette at 866-436-6734 or visit WCCOradio.com to learn more. That number again, 866-436-6734. Let's go to Costa Rica.
David Linsky of L3 Family Wealth Partners. You know, people will spend a year planning their big vacation. Take the same care when it comes to your retirement plan.
Listen to the Retirement Reality Report, Saturday at 11 on WCCO.
When the weather's perfect, the last thing you want is to be hauling furniture out of storage. With By the Yard, you're always ready for summer get-together. This premium outdoor furniture is built to stay outside all year long, looking just as good now as it will decades from now. Durable, timeless, and made for real life. Spend less time setting up and more time enjoying the moment. Visit the showrooms in Jordan, Maple Grove, or Woodbury and shop today. By the Yard. Life is better outdoors.
Time to find out how it's moving on the roads and what's moving in via the skies. This is traffic and weather together on CCO, starting with a check of the commute.
Things are starting to move on northbound Highway 100 between Excelsior Boulevard and 36. That crash is being cleared. 35E northbound, an accident being reported between Pennsylvania and Maryland Avenues. Expect about a 9-minute delay. 494 westbound at Valley Creek and Lake Road in Woodbury. We have 4 cars on the side of the road. That's really slowing things down over there. The highway helper and police are on scene. Also watch for residual slowing on Highway 65 near Highway 10 in Spring Lake Park. That's a look at the roads. I'm Darren Kmeyer. This is News Talk 830 WCCO.
Right now might be the perfect time to protect your home with clog-free Leaf Guard brand gutters, custom built for lasting performance. Get Leaf Guard brand gutters through Lindus Construction, 8449 Lindus, or on the web, lindusconstruction.com.
Now, the latest conditions and the outlook for the next few days with your CCO forecast.
All right, let's get up to date on the forecast. It's brought to you by Lindus Construction at lindusconstruction.com. Here is Chief Meteorologist Chris Schaefer.
Sky clears out tonight and the temperatures plummet down to 40 around the Twin Cities. It will be colder to the north and west where there are frost advisories and freeze warnings. Plenty of sunshine tomorrow, a light wind, a high of 64. Pretty nice day. Even warmer on Thursday with a high of 68. Looking ahead to Memorial Weekend. Little rain expected on Friday, warming into the 70s and 80s by Saturday, Sunday, and Monday.
It's cloudy. It's cold. I don't care for it. I'm not thrilled. I like this weekend better. It's 54, but it feels like it's 47 on CCM.
Drive Time with DeRusha is fueled by Luther Kia of Bloomington. Go see Dan Dingman and the crew today, or always online at lutherkiaofbloomington.com.
DeRusha, he has the eats. Nobody brings you the Twin Cities restaurant scene like your favorite foodie. Now, Jason explores some of the great chefs, owners, and stories right in our own backyard. Drive Time now transitions into DeRusha Eats.
And DeRusha Eats brought to you by the Minnesota Pork Board. It is an institution in the city of St. Paul. Alary's has been around since 1949. But they made a big change over the last couple of weeks. They added kitchen and bar to the name. It's more than just a name change. It's sort of a different approach, and I thought it was worth bringing in Bill Collins, the owner of Alary's, to talk a little bit about what has changed and what needed change. Bill, so good to see you.
Yeah, Jason, thanks for having me in. I really appreciate it.
I mean, Alary's is a walk for me and my wife. It's close to where we're living on Rice Park in downtown St. Paul, and it is it's been great to see it come back after it's closed. And you bought it after it closed during COVID, right?
Yeah, it actually reopened after COVID briefly, then closed it.
That's right. Yeah.
Early 2024.
And you bought it when?
February of 2024. I guess it must have closed in 23. We bought in February 24.
And it's known as a Chicago Bears bar. It's been known as a law enforcement hangout from back in the day. What, after, owning it for a bit and being in downtown St. Paul for a bit, what in your view needed to change?
Well, first of all, I've been in downtown for almost 30 years in the hospitality business. And Alary's has one of those iconic St. Paul names. You can say Mancini's, people know. You can say DeGidio's, people know. You can say Alary's, people know. You can say O'Gara's, people know. So it has that great St. Paul history. It's a name that everybody knows.
And you've been downtown for a while, but you went to St. Thomas, right? Like, you're a St. Paul guy.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
And so what a thrill for me to be able to latch into something that's got a 77-year history. And you can't be around 77 years and not do some evolving. And we saw some great opportunities with Alary's, and we jumped in both feet first and really looked at the building, the bones, and spent a couple years just getting a feel for what people want, what works, what doesn't. And obviously food was what was the missing piece. The building and the space has got what you need. Big, huge patio. People love to dine outside downtown. Tons of free parking, 1,000 spaces in the ramp next door that we validate. So all of the components that make a restaurant work were there. And we committed to creating a great food program, got a great chef on board, been having a ton of fun, getting great feedback from people. And the biggest challenge now is, like I talk about, you say Mancini's, you don't have to say steakhouse. Everybody knows. You say DeGidio's, everybody knows. Great Italian. You say Alary's and people think bar. And we need to tweak that a little to get people to think not just bar and sports, but to think great food too.
And hence putting kitchen in the name.
Absolutely.
But with and your menu has sort of had a iteration over the time that you owned it. You had a barbecue, great barbecue truck in residence for a while.
Yep. And Mike's moved out to South St. Paul and still cranking it out,
doing
crushing
great
it out there. Yeah.
And then you really, when you brought in this new chef, you really said, like, let's think about what downtown needs and where downtown's going too. As a more, like I said, I live there now. Like, it is trying to become more of a residential space, right?
Yeah. And, that's a great target market for bars and restaurants downtown are the locals. A lot of the other traffic is driven by events.
Right.
And
which St. Paul needs the events, right? Like the Wild brings in huge traffic.
Yep. And we're blessed. I mean,
concert.
you've got Mears Park. You got music every Thursday night in the summer. The Yacht Club Festival, Country Club Festival are both blowing it up downtown. Farmers Market brings a ton of people in.
Yeah.
So, those things are there that are bringing people downtown, but there's also a great market of people that are living there, growing downtown population. That it's really a good market to go after.
Walleye is sort of a focus of this new menu, right?
Yeah. So Chef Javi, our executive chef, spent, I think it was 15 years at Stella's. So he really knew his way around seafood. And we didn't move into the seafood right away. We started with a pretty limited menu while his staff got adjusted to our space. But I was a huge fan of Tavern on Grand. I knew Wilmo way back in the day when he opened it. And when Tavern on Grand closed, it was my go-to walleye. It was everybody's go-to walleye place.
For sure.
And we saw that lane, and I mentioned it to Javi, and he is a walleye fanatic. And he certainly knows his way around seafood, and he's crushing it.
Is Alary still going to be a sports bar?
Yeah, no doubt.
Have people asked that? They're like, wait a minute, you guys are adding walleye and a kids menu. Like, what is going on here?
Yeah, it's expanding the brand for sure, but you can't walk into the space and not know it isn't a sports
I mean,
bar.
there are TVs everywhere.
Yeah, and all the memorabilia on the wall.
Yeah.
The East Metro professional teams. And then Alary's was founded by a guy who played for Chicago Bears back before the NFL and before the Super Bowl. He was a member of the World Championship team 3 times. So it's steeped in Chicago Bears history. And
did you grow up? Are you from Chicago?
Grew up in Chicago.
I know
Family
you've been in
season
St.
ticket
Paul
holders.
so long, but you're from Chicago.
Yep.
Do you think of yourself as a Chicagoan or a St. Paul?
You can't shake that, but I'm definitely a St. Paul guy. But, my poor father'd roll over in the grave if I ever denied my Chicago roots.
Yeah. I mean, people claim me as Minnesotan if they agree with me, and they dismiss me as a Chicagoan if they don't. Yeah, they're all right. I don't know what to say. Like, yeah.
I wouldn't argue with that.
Bill Collins is here, Alary's Kitchen and Bar in downtown St. Paul. You still have, as part of this, part of the new menu, and you have all the walleye items on there, but you've got some Chicago style items on here too. You got a beef and you got a dog, right?
Yep, absolutely.
What do you do if someone comes in and asks for ketchup?
Well, it's a little different because the ketchup's on the table, but it doesn't get served on the dog coming out of the kitchen.
Like, Dan, I think, are you a ketchup on a hot dog?
Oh,
Dan?
no.
No. Okay.
So when I was 12 years old, I got my first restaurant job at Johnny's Italian Beef and Hot Dog Stand, 7500 West North Avenue. If you're from Chicago, you know Johnny's.
Legendary.
I literally stood on a milk crate to wash the dishes in that place. And just, again, for the sake of Johnny, I just couldn't put put ketchup on a hot dog.
Bill Collins is with us. Bill, you made a choice to invest in downtown St. Paul. And I think right now a lot of people are looking at downtown Minneapolis. They're looking at downtown St. Paul and saying, it feels like there's a little more energy in downtown St. Paul right now. Now, to a certain degree, downtown St. Paul had farther to fall, and it's got farther to climb. It is, as far as an active workplace, it's not. All those city and county workers and state workers that are not coming to the office, it can make downtown feel empty. I feel some energy, some progress going in the right direction. But why did you make the choice to invest in downtown?
Well, we've been down there for a long time and are believers in it is the more attractive city. It's, I love the comparison.
I like it. That's a St. Paul guy right there.
It's the last of the great cities of the East. Minneapolis is the first of the great cities of the West. And I'm a traditionalist. I like old school. I like the history you have in downtown St. Paul. And the bones are great. I think there's great opportunity for residential development to continue to expand. You and I were in an event last week where they announced there's $1 billion being pumped into downtown St. Paul. And if you don't think that St. Paul's on the come, you better open up your eyes because it's happening in St. Paul. And there's the people, the movers and the shakers are all on the same page. And it's really exciting what's happening.
Kids menu, so bring the family. There is free parking over there, and you still have people know your shuttles for sure going to big events at the Axe.
Yeah, right. GCA.
I've been pretty good at it, but it's hard to get it right at the Grand Casino Arena. So that's still part of the equation. For
Absolutely. Yep. All the East Metro professional stuff, United games, and the concerts down on Harriet Island. You park free at Alary's. We've got 3 shuttles that are taking people all over town all the time.
What is your favorite St. Paul restaurant besides Euro?
Well, this is a little tough because we just lost the wood fire. Mo, longtime friend.
Yeah.
15 years, every Saturday morning, breakfast there. Just incredible.
That surprised me. I get it. Like he wants to retire, but
yeah.
That space was doing pretty well, I think.
It was never not busy.
Yeah.
And so losing that was, a bummer. But my favorite lunch spot, the Groveland Tap.
Oh,
those guys knock it out. Their food's tremendous. Great menu. Really great staff. Red Cow's another favorite. Luke Shemp is a genius.
Yeah. I think every restaurant owner wishes they could have cracked the code the way Luke has.
Yeah.
It's been pretty good.
W.A. Frost Patio. Boy, if you haven't been there, put it on your bucket list.
I had lunch at Cafe Latte today.
That's, man, talk about an institution. That's got to be 45 years.
Yeah, pretty cool.
Yeah.
Bill, I can't wait to check out the new menu.
I can't wait for you to check out the new menu. I can't wait for everybody to check out the new menu.
Absolutely.
We got 1,000 parking spaces. Don't hesitate.
Bill Collins from Alary's. Thanks, Bill. Appreciate it.
Thank you for your time and look forward to seeing everybody at Alary's.
Sounds good. DeRusha Eats brought to you by the Minnesota Pork Board. Back in just a minute with a bit of a failure on my part for my wife's birthday that is coming up on Friday. Maybe you guys can help. We'll talk about it next.
Drive Time with DeRusha is fueled by Luther Kia of Bloomington. Always online at lutherkiaofbloomington.com.
Do you know what you're having for dinner tonight? If you're not going to Alary's, go to your grocery store and your butcher shop and let's get Minnesota pork for dinner. It's Jason for our friends at the Minnesota Pork Board. Now, look, there's Minnesota pork on the menu at Alary's and most of your great restaurants. You get pork carnitas. Oh, yeah. Pork carnitas tacos. That sounds delicious, doesn't it? Why not? Minnesota pork, when I think summer, I think grilling season, I think pork. Nothing better than a bone-in pork chop, maybe a pork tenderloin. That pork shoulder. I say nothing better, and then I list 4 things. So maybe, I don't know. It's all good. It's lean. It's high in protein. It's affordable, too. You go to your grocery store and you see the prices on some of the other proteins right now. You want to save a buck? Think about ground pork. Think about working that in for tacos or for burgers or whatever the case may be. If you need recipe inspiration, we've got it for you. TasteWhatPorkCanDo.com. That is the website where you can sort recipes by cooking type, by the amount of time, by the type of pork you have in your refrigerator. But get to TasteWhatPorkCanDo.com and let's have Minnesota pork for dinner tonight. Oh, yeah.
Ready or not, summer is coming, and Wayfair's Memorial Day clearance is on now. Right now through May 25th, get up to 70% off everything home at Wayfair. Plus, score amazing doorbuster deals all sale long and surprise flash deals on Memorial Day. We're talking thousands of products at every style and budget. Now is the time to save big on must-haves for your patio, backyard, and beyond. These savings won't last. So don't wait. Shop Wayfair's Memorial Day clearance now through May 25th.
Wayfair, every style, every home.
You know that Big Bargain detergent jug is 80% water, right? It doesn't clean as well.
80% water? I thought I was getting a better deal because it's so big.
If you want a better clean, Tide Pods are only 12% water. The rest is pure concentrated cleaning ingredients.
Oh, let me make an announcement.
Attention shoppers, if you want a real deal, try Tide Pods.
Stop paying for watered-down detergents. Pay for clean. If it's got to be clean, it's got to be Tide Pods. Water content based on the leading bargain liquid detergent.
We're gonna win, Twins, we're gonna score.
Gas prices are up. Luther Kia of Bloomington is there for you. It's Jason DeRusha. I love my Kia, and I love Dan Dingman and his team, plus their brand new facility. More room, more service bays, more Kia excellence. EVs, hybrids, the red hot 2027 Telluride. I just test drove it. It is awesome. Get to 35W and 494 and check out 0% financing on Sportages and Sorrentos at LutherKiaofBloomington.com.
This is the story of the one. As a procurement manager for a hospital system, she keeps every facility in her network stocked and ready. That's why she counts on Grainger to be her single source for thousands of products, from disinfectants to lighting, air filters, and more. And with fast, dependable delivery, Grainger helps her keep every facility stocked, safe, and running smoothly. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Straight Talk Wireless presents Pickup Truck Wisdom.
If you're only good to your new friends, you're not going to have any old ones. Straight Talk gets it. That's why new and existing customers get free 5G phones on Verizon's 5G network. Pretty simple, really. You keep good people by being good people.
Find us at straighttalk.com and Walmart. Straight Talk Wireless. Straightforward. Always. Taxes and fees apply. Plan purchase required for free phone offers. Copyright 2026 Verizon.
Time to find out how it's moving on the roads and what's moving in via the skies. This is traffic and weather together on CCO, starting with a check of the commute.
Seeing the usual slowdowns on 494 in both directions between 169 and Cedar. Expect to add some extra time. Crosstown also slow, headed west from Cedar over to Valley View. Things are still sluggish on 35E northbound due to that accident between Pennsylvania and Maryland Avenues. Expect about a 7-minute delay. Eastbound 694 is seeing steady brake lights from University through 35W and continuing toward 35E in the Northeast Metro. With all the construction, westbound 394 is crowded, leaving downtown out to Louisiana Avenue. That's a look at the roads. I'm Darren K. Meyer, News Talk 830 WCCO.
Hungry? Go to Dickey's Barbecue Pit of Egan for real Texas barbecue. All meats smoked fresh in-house daily. You can dine in, take out, have it delivered, or have your event catered anywhere in the metro. Just go to Dickeys.com. Dickey's Barbecue Pit of Egan, the Twin Cities catering leader.
Now, the latest conditions and the outlook for the next few days with your CCO forecast.
Forecast brought to you by Dickey's Barbecue Pit of Egan, Twin Cities catering leader. Dickeys.com. Tonight, mainly clear, low of 40. Tomorrow, 64. Thursday, 68. Frost advisory and freeze warnings if you're outside the metro in the overnight hours. So cover your pansies, Hello. Don't take that out of context. Right now, it's cold, cloudy, and crappy. 55 in Minneapolis on CCO.
You're listening to Drive Time with DeRusha.
Nothing. It just turns into nothing so quickly.
On News Talk 830 WCCO.
Are you good at your spouse's birthday? I feel like I'm good at some parts and bad enough. Alyssa's 50th birthday is Friday. And today, as I was sitting in St. Paul waiting to get my hair cut, a realization struck me, Dan. A moment where I was like, oh my. I feel like I've got everything under control.
Except
the cake. Best place for a birthday cake. 651-461-9226.
Are you sure Alyssa is a cake person?
Well, it doesn't matter because we're having the family over and you need a cake.
Sure.
Now,
well, I mean, you don't have to have a cake. I'm saying if she prefers something else, shouldn't her birthday be about her?
No.
Okay.
No, anyone who thinks that their birthday party is for them is crazy. When you have a party, it's for all of the people who you invite to the party. It's for them. If you want it to be for
This is
you,
why I don't host parties.
Right. Parties are not for you. I think people have this mistaken idea that the party is for the person that it's like someone texted us when we were talking about graduations earlier. Well, it's about the graduate. No, it's not. You think graduates give a rip about sitting in a gym, walking across the stage? No.
That's for grandpa and grandma and mom
Yes.
and dad and all the people that help pay for college.
What
yeah.
the graduates want, like, how much does it cost to do one of these? Like, if you gave every one of those kids $100, wouldn't they be like, yeah, that's cool?
Yeah, for sure.
Right?
Without question, they would make that trade in a heartbeat. Sure.
But birthday parties are, if you're having a party. Now, we're just having a family gathering. So it's going to be my boys, also Alyssa's boys. They're our boys.
Yeah. One could argue more hers than yours.
Well, I mean, we had an equal involvement in the initial act of creation, and then the rest of it was pretty much her.
Okay.
Which I'm sure the boys would love to hear a discussion.
Oh, for sure.
But I forgot about the cake. I booked a flight for Seth to come home. I coordinated bringing the kid home for her birthday.
That's pretty good.
Gifts have been procured.
Also good.
The card is great. The kids, no cake.
I feel as
I feel kind of dumb.
Of all the things that you could screw up in this whole process, the
This is the
cake's
best.
pretty low on the list.
Texture, what kind of birthday cake? What a first world problem. Ladies and gentlemen, we live in the first world.
By the way,
first world problems, that is what this show talks about each and every day. If I could take the first world problem insult and just get a bazooka and explode it into the ether, it would make me so happy. I didn't mean to take it out on you, Texter, but I hate it. It makes me so mad.
You know the feeling when your body is tired, but your brain just won't shut off? We've all been there. Jordana here. That's where CBN comes in. CBN, short for cannabinol, is a naturally occurring hemp cannabinoid known for its relaxing, sleepy effects. Think of it like the lights dimming signal for your brain. While CBD helps you stay calm, CBN helps your body know it's time to rest. That's why we call it CB Night Night. Mini Leaf Night and Night Plus Sleep Gummies combine CBN, CBD, and CBG to help you fall asleep faster and stay asleep longer, and then wake up feeling refreshed. Free shipping this month at minileaf.com, the home of Minnesota's best legal products. Go to minileaf.com, MINNELEAF.com, and tell them Jordana sent you.
In a world in need of a hero, one man rises to the challenge in style. He is.
Just driving the kids to soccer practice.
Make every day feel epic in the all-new Hyundai Palisade Hybrid with up to an EPA estimated 619 miles of range on select trims, advanced tech, and class-leading interior space. Visit HyundaiUSA.com or call 562-314-4603 for more details.
And hey, come on, no cleats on the seats.
Pool days call for cookouts and lots of laundry. This Memorial Day at Lowe's, save $80 on a Charbroil Performance Series 4-burner gas grill, now just $199. Plus, get up to 45% off select major appliances to keep dishes, clothes, and food fresh. Having fun in the sun is easy with us in your corner. Our best lineup is here at Lowe's. Valid through 5/27. While supplies last. Selection varies by location. See associate or Lowe's.com for details.
When it matters, this is where Minnesota turns. News Talk 830 WCCO.
KMND HD2, Minneapolis, St. Paul.
Streaming now via the iHeart and Apple Radio apps.
This is CBS News on the Hour, your home for original reporting.
I'm Jennifer Kuiper. Just in, the Senate advances a resolution to limit President Trump's Iran war powers for the first time after 4 Republicans defect. One of them, Republican Louisiana Senator Bill Cassidy, after his primary loss. Those investigating yesterday's shooting of 3 people at the Islamic Center of San Diego say the 2 shooters shared white supremacist beliefs and left behind writings showing their hatred toward various races and religions. FBI Special Agent in Charge, Mark Remini.
We're currently conducting extensive interviews with the subject's family and friends. We've executed 3 search warrants at residences associated with the subjects.
San Diego Police Chief Scott Wall praises a guard and 2 other men at the Islamic Center who slowed the attackers.
Without distracting the attention, without delaying the actions of these 2 individuals, without question, there would have been many more fatalities yesterday.
The 2 shooters took their own lives. President Trump is not only getting a $1.8 billion from the government to drop an IRS lawsuit, money that's being used for an anti-weaponization fund, but Loyola Law School professor Lori Levinson adds,
Donald Trump filed a $10 billion lawsuit against the IRS. Then he turned around and said, I'll drop that lawsuit, but what I get is a full release for my family and me from any possible tax charges against me.
The Justice Department says the new stipulation in the IRS Trump settlement applies to past or existing audits, not future ones. President Trump endorses a candidate in a tight U.S. Senate primary in Texas. He's backing Texas Attorney General Ken Paxton over incumbent Republican John Cornyn, Vice President J.D. Vance.
We think Ken Paxton is going to be a great senator for the people of Texas, but most importantly, a great United States senator who can work on solving the problems that all of us confront as a country together.
An obituary for an old school beer.
Why settle for less? When you're out of Schlitz, you're out of beer.
That's the 1971 TV ad featuring happy people drinking what else? Schlitz beer. It's been around for 177 years, and though it was based in Milwaukee, it left a huge legacy in Chicago. Many taverns still have Schlitz logos on their buildings. Pabst Brewing Company is ceasing production due to dwindling demand for the once famous beer. There will be a farewell batch of the beer based on brewing logs from the first half of the 20th century. Allison Keyes, CBS News.
The Sandy Fire has burned almost 1,400 acres in Simi Valley, California. Tens of thousands of people under evacuation orders. Andrew Dowd with the Ventura County Fire Department.
Overnight cooling has led to the fire kind of dampening down. We anticipate increased fire behavior and increased winds.
This is CBS News.
The stars shine brighter on CBS Morning.
This is a slam dunk.
So cute.
Gail came in singing for me today.
On CBS Mornings.
Minnesota's trusted voice every hour. Let's get you caught up with what's happening now on News Talk 830 WCCO.
Cloudy and 54 degrees at 5:03. Good evening. I'm Mark Fry. It's official. Minneapolis is hosting the 2028 NFL Draft. NFL Commissioner Roger Goodell today making that announcement in Orlando for the league meeting.
A great community, one that I think is going to set a new bar for success of this draft and the impact that it has on a community. So I want to congratulate Minnesota, and we look forward to seeing you in 2028.
Of course, Minneapolis Mayor Jacob Fry among those celebrating that big announcement on social media. He talked about how well the city performs during these big events.
And when we're welcoming people from across the world here to our city, we've got a beautiful city to show off. And whether it's the incredible restaurants or the people, this great venue back here, or, of course, we're going to be rooting for the Minnesota Vikings. This is going to be a perfect place to host this huge event.
Governor Tim Walz has named Theodora Gaieta as the new Chief Justice of the Minnesota Supreme Court.
The official announcement taking place at the Capitol Rotunda, with Governor Walz praising Gaieta.
Her deep appellate experience allows her to see long-term direction of law, a clean intellect that helps her to understand how a case impacts both the parties involved.
Gaieta was named to the bench by Walz in 2024. She talked about the need for collaboration.
We need to collaborate with each other as a branch, with other judges, clerks, administrators, and staff.
With her rising to the Chief Justice post, Walz is named Ramsey County District Court Judge Ronaldo Aligata to the High Court. Susie Jones, News Talk 830 WCCO.
Friends of a Minneapolis man who died Sunday after he was severely injured last Friday during an attempted car theft are trying to cope with that loss. Police say the man confronted 2 suspects who were trying to steal his vehicle and that he was either struck by the suspect's vehicle or jumped onto the hood as they tried to get away. Rick's Coffee Bar in Minneapolis identified the man as Amos Ferrier Tom McKenna operates the establishment and talked with WCCO TV.
It's a huge loss. Amos was such a huge part of what we do. His work with the interns that we employ, the veterans, was so important. And he had this unique way of connecting with each and every one of them.
He says Ferrier was a decorated Army medic that served in Afghanistan, credited with saving multiple lives. So far, Minneapolis police say there have not been any arrests. Coming up on 5:06, traffic and weather next.
Flint Hills Resources Pine Bend Refinery in Rosemont produces important transportation fuels used throughout the Midwest, but they're also active in the community. They support many programs and organizations that make Minnesota better. Go to FHR.com.
Time to find out how it's moving on the roads and what's moving in via the skies. This is traffic and weather together on CCO, starting with a check of the commute.
The traffic is brought to you by Flint Hills Resources. Traffic on 35W southbound remains crowded, leaving downtown Minneapolis toward 494. Westbound 94 is slowing through downtown St. Paul, headed toward Minneapolis with heavier volume around 280 and the Lowry Tunnel. Eastbound 494 also tightening up from Eden Prairie over toward the airport with slow traffic at the 35W interchange. In the North Metro, eastbound 694 remains slow approaching 35E, and southbound 35E seeing steady backups headed into downtown St. Paul. I'm Darren Kmeyer, News Talk 830 WCCO.
Get your home into the comfort zone with Metro Heating and Cooling.
Call Metro Heating and Cooling for a $109 air conditioner tune-up. Find out more at metroheating.com.
Now, the latest conditions and the outlook for the next few days with your CCO forecast.
Brought to you by Metro Heating and Cooling. Here's Chris Schaefer.
A chilly night tonight as the sky clears out. 40 the overnight low in the Twin Cities. It will be cold enough up in parts of northern and western Minnesota for frost advisories and freeze warnings. Mostly sunny tomorrow. We start to warm up. A high of 64, up to 68 on Thursday. Expect highs in the 70s and 80s for Memorial Weekend.
54 and cloudy at News Talk 830 WCCO.
No one knows the state of the state like we do. News Talk 830 WCCO. He knows news. He knows talk. He knows nonsense, too. So get ready for a lot of each. This is Drive Time with DeRusha, fueled by Luther Kia of Bloomington. Once again, here's Jason DeRusha.
Oh, the texts are still coming in about the cake scandal of the last hour. Welcome to Drive Time. My wife's birthday is Friday. I don't have a cake for her. Mark Fry suggested Costco, followed up by Hy-Vee.
Now shut up and drive.
And he said if Alyssa didn't like the Costco cake, that I should tell her, well, it's been a good run. Wow. Of all the things to draw the line in the sand for.
Marriage and family therapist Mark Fry.
I don't know. Andrew suggesting a cafe latte, tres leches cake. I was just at Cafe Latte for lunch today. Tres leche, fabulous. Very good. Another texter said Hy-Vee as well. Dairy Queen ice cream cake. Can I talk about the Dairy Queen ice cream cake for a moment? I don't know who invented that magical crust. You know, that sort of like crumbled up cookie Dairy Queen crust. But when we're talking about the Nobel Peace Prize, don't you think that should be in the conversation? I mean, that crust, that Dairy Queen ice cream, maybe science, maybe like a Nobel Prize for physics. It's crunchy. It's flavorful. It still holds up the weight of that Dairy Queen ice cream. Magic.
Can I offer an unpopular opinion upon which I will die on this hill?
Sure.
Dairy Queen ice cream cakes or any ice cream cake is ridiculously overrated.
Wow.
They're terrible. I hate them.
Wow.
I hate them.
Wow.
I want cake. I want ice cream. We don't have to mash everything together. We don't have to make everything all about, how efficiently can I get this product into my face hole.
Have you ever had a homemade ice cream cake?
No. If I don't like the professionals doing one, why would I want a homemade one?
You know, my mother-in-law, who is an angel of a woman, of a human, makes an amazing ice cream cake.
I'm sure she does. I just am equally sure I wouldn't care for it.
Would you tell the person?
Well, no. I mean, I'm not rude. I'm not trying to hurt anybody's feelings.
In fact, Dan Cook wouldn't tell the person at a restaurant yesterday.
Look at you make a pivot. Oh, I'm so proud of you. That's awesome. Yeah, so here's the question. We went out after nephew's graduation to a restaurant in the North Loop, which will remain nameless because they didn't do anything wrong. You know where it was. You know the place. You know it very well. I have so many food issues. It would take, hours and hours to dissect them all.
Can I pause you for 1 second?
Sure, please.
The question is, when would you send back some food or tell a server, I don't like this?
Right.
651-461-9226. Because it is really hard.
And the special condition being, they didn't do anything. It's not like they overcooked it. It's not like they didn't do anything wrong. They just served their food. If you just don't like the food,
right,
do you tell the server?
So can I play act as the server?
Well,
coming up to your table?
Okay, let me set it up.
All right.
And then, yes, let's do that. So it was just a cheeseburger situation. I told the server, meat, bun, cheese. That's all I need.
I was going to play act. Hello, Dan.
I thought we were doing it at the end.
No, I was going to play act at the beginning, but it's all right.
All right. So I just tell her that, right?
You said
meat, bun, cheese.
Meat, bun,
and she repeated it back to me. And that's what presumably she brought when it was time.
Bun, cheese, right?
What I didn't realize is, I guess when they're putting together their burgers, they mix onions into the beef patties, right? I'm not a big onion person. So I got through maybe a quarter of the hamburger and realized, this ain't going to work. Now, that's not their fault. They make their food however they make their food. I don't blame them for it. It just isn't something I enjoy or wanted to eat.
It wasn't onions on the meat.
No, it was
just
mixed
part of how they make their patties.
So
what do they do that for?
I don't know, but they do. And that's fine. They can do as they see fit. It's not for me to say, but I wasn't going to eat it. And so I had some fries and I had a little bit of the burger that, until I realized what was going on. And then, set it aside and it's fine, right? That's fine. I have the food issues. That's on me. I'm not going to put it on them. But she noticed when she came to start cleaning things up that I hadn't eaten very much of it. And so initially, did you need a box? No, I don't need a box. And then she looks at it again and goes, oh, is everything okay? Because clearly recognizing I hadn't eaten, more than a quarter of the thing. And I said, everything's fine. Mostly because if I answered her question further with, oh, well, here's what I didn't care for about it, we're extending this conversation to a distance I don't want it extended to. I want this interaction to be over with. I want to move on. Also, I don't think it's their fault. I don't think they did anything wrong. They make their burger how they make their burger. It just wasn't something I wanted. And I didn't want to send it back. I didn't want it taken off the bill. I didn't want to do anything other than be done.
Right.
And so the question is, would most people have done what I did and just say, didn't like it, no big deal, and not mention anything? Or do you tell the server and say, well, by the way, you should list on the menu that there's onions in the beef or whatever it is?
I feel like onion mixed in the beef. I would have felt like I was lying if I said, no, it was fine.
Well, I was clearly lying.
Right. So I would feel like I should say, I didn't really care for this. I didn't expect onions in the mix. Were they like chunky?
Not terribly.
So it was just like a hint of onion flavoring?
There was a texture problem along with the flavor.
You could taste.
Yes.
Have you considered that you maybe shouldn't be allowed to eat out?
It's definitely a realistic possibility. Yeah. No.
I would. You present the perfect conundrum because I'm not sure.
Because I don't want to. It's not their fault. This isn't like this place was bad or did anything wrong. They made their product how they make their product. I just didn't like the product.
If there were like chunky, raw-ish onions in the, deal, I don't know. I might say something. Texter saying you definitely tell the server. Another texter, it would be helpful to let them know because others may feel the same. Another texter says CCO, where old guys crab about onions.
I'm more mad that you called me old than about the onion bit of it. Because again,
how dare you?
I embrace my food issues fully. I completely. This is on me, not on this particular joint. 100%. I have the issues with the food. But how dare you call me old? That's just no.
Former waitress texting in agrees it's not the fault of the restaurant. However, they want happy customers. Tell the server onions. Oh, another texter saying onions could be an allergen. So they should list it. I don't know. That's sort of if you're allergic to onions, you probably have to ask at all times.
Probably.
Because onion is
pretty common. Well, okay. So the folks that are saying that I should tell the server, answer me this question.
Well, then,
to what point or purpose? If I tell the server, oh, I didn't like it because of this, is that actually going to change how they make their burger? Or are they just going to go, hey, there's the weirdo that didn't like the onions?
It's interesting.
I don't think it's really going to change anything. And again, that's why I'm trying to limit the length of this conversation.
You would rather not have a prolonged.
Yeah.
You don't want to make a scene.
Well, it's not even, it wouldn't be a scene necessarily. I just don't want to have that conversation.
Mm-hmm. I would probably have told the server. And
I believe that you would have, yes. I 1,000% believe.
I mean,
I believe you would have had a 20-minute conversation with this young lady about the situation and what you think about it and why you think that way and what does she think and what is the chef. Maybe the chef should come out and you could have a conversation with the chef as well about why this happens. And I'd be at the door. Oh, can we just leave?
I very rarely send things back. Once I sent back a waffle that was raw on the inside.
I think that's fair.
There's a restaurant I really like too, but they just made a mistake. It's all right. It's no big deal. A couple weeks ago, I sent back a gin and tonic. That was a first for me.
But didn't you say that had like a funky flavor to it or something weird?
It smelled rancid and tasted worse.
That's usually not good.
Especially when there are two ingredients, gin and tonic. Like, how did this happen? I don't know. Lots of textures saying they need to. I wouldn't think about putting onions on the menu. Like putting the build of, because onion powder is a rather common ingredient in a burger mix. So like,
I wouldn't call it, I mean, this certainly wasn't chunks of onion, but it was definitely slivers.
Yeah. Texter says, I had a coworker complain about everything at restaurants in hopes they took it off the bill. Now that would be, I'd
be mortified to even suggest that. And in fact, if the server would have suggested it, I would have said absolutely not. Because it's my issue. It's not, to me, it's nothing that they did wrong at all. This is my food issue. So I own it 100%.
It's very interesting. You should tell the server so the next person who doesn't like onions is made aware of the onions in the burger. Then the texter had to ruin this positive.
Yeah, right?
Think of others and not just yourself, Cook.
That's my problem. I don't ever think of other people.
Oh, very interesting. Appreciate all the text, all the response. I don't know.
I'm still not going to say anything, but I appreciate that's what people think I should have done.
I do think, generally speaking, people should be less afraid. You're not going to offend the server. Like, just tell them
I wasn't afraid of offending anybody.
You just didn't want to have a conversation.
I wanted to limit this social interaction to the greatest degree possible.
Are you sure you're not like Gen Z?
Yes.
Okay. You have like some of the social.
There's plenty of other social issues that I have that I'm not sure about, whether they're, pathological or diagnosable.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm definitely sure I'm not Gen Z.
In a minute, I want to talk about the absolute astonishingly obnoxious Luigi Mangione fangirls. Just disgusting and worth knowing that there are people probably out there listening to this right now who agree with these women. Some of the vile comments from these Luigi Mangione fangirls, just to me, astonishing. We'll talk about it when we come back.
Drive Time with DeRusha on News Talk 830 WCCO.
All right, Jason here for our friends at Luther Kia of Bloomington. which I tell you what, I cannot wait to get out there to see their brand new store. It's been under construction for months now. But Luther Kia Bloomington has just opened a brand new facility right at 35W and 494. And what that means to you is more service bays, less time waiting to get your car in to be taken care of. You know, I'm a Kia driver, and I take my Kia Stinger to Luther Kia Bloomington. Dan Dingman runs that operation. Dan has been selling cars in Minnesota for decades. He's just, look, you don't last that long in the business without being an honest, straight up, good human being, and Dan Dingman is that. He will take care of you. He will take care of your family. And Kia right now is red hot. Just won best car for the money, best family car, top mid-size electric SUV. Kia, get it on your radar and get Luther Kia Bloomington on your radar as well. That brand new building is just the beginning. 0% financing available on certain Sportages and Sorrentos. The red hot 2027 Telluride is in there, and more than 90 electric, hybrid, plug-in hybrid vehicles available right now. Gas prices, we're all watching them. See what Luther Kia Bloomington can do for you. 35W and 494 in Bloomington. Tell Dan Dingman and his team that you heard about Luther Kia on CCO.
Hi, Danny Wong here for Linda's Construction. Maybe it's time to protect that home of yours with durable GAF asphalt shingles. These shingles are built for beauty, strength, and boy, do they have long-term performance. Upgrade that roof of yours with GAF asphalt shingles. These shingles are designed to really stand up to our tough Midwest weather. Now, if you want to brighten that home of yours, get Infinity from Marvin Windows, built for lasting beauty, durability, and comfort. Get on the web, lindasconstruction.com, or call them 844-9-LINDAS.
You know that feeling when your body is tired, but your brain just won't shut off? We've all been there. Jordana here. That's where CBN comes in. CBN, short for cannabinol, is a naturally occurring hemp cannabinoid known for its relaxing, sleepy effects. Think of it like the lights dimming signal for your brain. While CBD helps you stay calm, CBN helps your body know it's time to rest. That's why we call it CB Night Night. Mini Leaf Night and Night Plus Sleep Gummies combine CBN, CBD, and CBG to help you fall asleep faster and stay asleep longer, and then wake up feeling refreshed. Free shipping this month at minileaf.com, the home of Minnesota's best legal products. Go to minileaf.com, MINNELEAF.com, and tell them Jordana sent you.
One of life's greatest mysteries has finally been solved.
Who let the dogs out? Spruce, spruce, spruce.
It's spruce, the weed and grass killer that's safe for use around people, pets, and bees when used as directed. Spray the leaves for visible results in just 1 hour and dead weeds in just 1 day. You spray, they play. Spruce, pet friendly, weed deadly. Find wherever weed killers are sold.
Ready or not, summer is coming, and Wayfair's Memorial Day clearance is on now. Right now through May 25th, get up to 70% off everything home at Wayfair. Plus, score amazing doorbuster deals all sale long and surprise flash deals on Memorial Day. We're talking thousands of products at every style and budget. Now is the time to save big on must-haves for your patio, backyard, and beyond. These savings won't last, so don't wait. Shop Wayfair's Memorial Day clearance now through May 25th.
Wayfair, every style, every home.
This is Drive Time with DeRusha on News Talk 830 WCCO.
I can't move on, baby doll. Waiting on calls, flipping through stations. I'm outclassed, it's outrageous.
Defending the murder of anyone. It's pretty disgusting. But yet, a generation of activists have decided that it's okay to kill healthcare executives. A couple of women were given a press pass by city officials in New York and attended a court hearing in the trial of Luigi Mangione. He is the accused killer of United Healthcare CEO Brian Thompson. Brian Thompson, lives here, lived here in the Twin Cities. He's a father. He's a son. These 3 Luigi Mangione supporters stood in front of the microphones yesterday, and they have like an Instagram account. I'm not going to say what it is. Just minuscule audiences. Although one of these people has a large Instagram following. So whatever, they shouldn't have been given press passes. And on top of it, though, what they are saying, I can't tell how uncommon this viewpoint is. I think there has been an acceptance of violence by people who are extremists. And to me, it's just disgusting, and it's a lack of humanity, and it's a lack of understanding as to what actually can get you closer towards your policy goals or society goals or whatever. Listen to what one of these 3 Luigi Mangione, they call themselves the Mangionistas. And here's some of what they said.
Brian Thompson, that's all I'm going to say. That's all I want to say. Brian Thompson, his mom, that lady who said something on Inside Edition. I said what I said. I don't give a fuck.
His children are better off without him. They need to learn to not be like their dad and enjoy the blood money.
All right. So let's stop it right there. His children are better off without him. What I would like to say to this woman, I cannot say on WCCO radio, but it would be one of the things that Dan bleeped out. There is a political movement, especially, and I hate to make this a generational thing, but it is. It is young, extremely liberal people. And look, the mayor of New York City, who is a Democratic socialist, who is very far to the left, he condemned these statements. Even Luigi Mangione's attorney said, this isn't it. But I'll tell you, there are these sorts of sick people out there who think that, because this guy was in healthcare and because United Health denied coverage for certain people and those people then died, that anyone who works for a healthcare company is a murderer. This is the political logic of just immature, infantile, idiotic children. Grow up. Grow up. To say that his children are better off without him, screw you. What is wrong with people? It is one of the negatives of the fact that everyone has access to an audience now. Right? I mean, and there is this idea that my beliefs are so correct, that I'm so correct, that I have this sort of irrational confidence where I think I should stand in front of a microphone and say that it's good that this guy is dead. Just ghoulish, disgusting, pathetic. I don't know, man. It's not great. It's not great. Texter says, Jason's such a big nerd. His old world thinking gotta chill. I will not chill. I have no chill when it comes to arguing that someone's kids are better. I mean, seriously. And I do think there is a problem in, just like Republicans have a problem with far-right extremists. And in Minnesota, I think Republicans have a problem with the fact that part of their base is openly racist. And it's difficult if you're a more, say, traditional Republican. How do you embrace that part of your base, which you need to vote, without sort of taking on some of the onus for being racist? I think the Democrats have this same problem with their extreme end. Now, I don't think a mainstream Democrat agrees that Brian Thompson deserved to die. And also, we're seeing the Democrats in this state move more to the left, moving closer to these crazy young women than to the middle. I think it's a big challenge. It's a big challenge.
I think hopefully it's still a fringe idea to think that disagreeing about policy means somebody is justifiably murdered. But that fringe is getting louder and it's getting larger.
Yeah.
On both sides. And that's a problem. And this is a gigantic red flag that keeps popping up in our culture. And we should keep talking about it because too many people are willing to say what stuff like that texter said, just dismissive of the fact that a man was murdered. You can hate what he does for a living. You can think that what he does for a living leads to the murder of other people. That doesn't justify in any way, shape, or form killing him. It just doesn't.
Right. Right.
And if you think it does, there's a problem with you, not with him.
And if you think that the concept of insurance, which inherently is going to have profit-motivated decisions, it is going to have decisions that are based on data or computer models and not based on we're going to throw money at something and try to give it the best chance. And I'm not defending the policies of health insurers, but I think you have to look at a bigger solution. It's not a company by company situation, executive by executive situation. We're going to break. In a minute, I want to talk about the legislative session, which ended at midnight, Monday morning, Sunday night. I think Republicans won the session. And I'm hard-pressed to find a ton of victories for Democrats. Blois Olson will join us in a minute because I'm curious what he thinks. 651-461-9226. Who do you think won the legislative session? Drive time back in just a minute.
This is Drive Time with DeRusha on News Talk 830 WCCO.
Time now for today's Spotlight on Tech, sponsored by University of Maryland Global Campus.
Google has launched a new screenless fitness tracker powered by artificial intelligence. The Fitbit Air is Google's smallest tracker yet, packing high-fidelity sensor technology in a tiny pebble that tracks heart rate and variability, blood oxygen levels, sleep stages, and other health metrics. Google says the Fitbit Air has up to a week of battery life and takes just 5 minutes to charge for a full day. I'm Jason Brooks.
Earn an accredited MBA in as few as 16 months for about $21K at University of Maryland Global Campus. Explore 10 specializations, including finance, HR, cyber technology, and more. Plus, showcase the value of your MBA with a comprehensive learner record and digitally demonstrate in-demand skills and credentials to employers. No application fee if you apply by June 1st. Learn more at umgc.edu. Certified to operate in Virginia by SHAP.
Jason here with a summertime opportunity for you thanks to Livia Weight Control Centers. I have my appointment with Livia tomorrow. I check in all the time. A friend of mine just asked me yesterday, how do you do it? Like, you lost the 45 pounds. How do you keep it off? It's because I have the support system. That's what it is. I have the Livia team of experts with me every step of the way. It's been almost 4 years. And summer is coming up, right? You want to feel good? You want to be out on the concerts and the restaurant patios, having weekends by the lake, riding the bike around the park. You're going to feel so much better when you're 10 pounds lighter. You could lose up to 10 pounds or more before summer. If you join Livia today, you can do it at livia.com. I've got a deal for you as well in just a minute. But before we get to that, I do want to give a shout out to Everett, who is the center director, and the entire team at Livia in Apple Valley, because there are Livia weight control centers all over the Twin Cities, but the Apple Valley team has just absolutely been killing it. And if you live in that area, my gosh, give Everett a call. It's at 14800 Galaxy Avenue. They're really helping people feel supported and motivated every step of the way. So what is the deal, Jason? 8 weeks free. Right now, join Livea, get 8 weeks free. Come on. Summer's coming. Get that beach bod ready. Livea.com, Livea.com, or call 855-GO-LIVEA.
Hey, you! Yeah, I'm talking to you! We got a show and it's Guys and Dolls at Chanhassen and Dinner Theaters. It's terrific and delicious because you got dinner and a show. Don't take my word, everybody's loving it. The Pioneer Press called it a must-see. Star Tribune called it eye-popping and blazing with brilliance. I heard a lady from Eden Prairie say this is the best show she's ever seen at the Chan. Grab your doll or your guy. Get your family over here for Guys and Dolls. Visit ChanHassenDT.com.
So when do you need to start thinking about a will? Find out at GutmanLaw.com. What is a living trust, and do you need this? Find out at GutmanLaw.com. What about a power of attorney or probate? We'll get all the answers to your questions when you schedule a free attorney consultation at, GutmanLaw.com. It's Jordana, and I didn't know the first thing about wills, living trusts, estate planning, but I didn't need to. All I did was reach out to my friend Matt Gutman and his partner Jamie Reff Wagner. This is their focus: wills, trust, probate, estate plans. Now knowing that my loved ones will be taken care of no matter what helps me sleep at night. Don't wait until it's too late to get these things taken care of. You can schedule a free, no-hassle consultation right on the website. Say it with me, GutmanLaw.com. GutmanLaw.com, giving you peace of mind today for tomorrow. It's not just a slogan. I sleep better at night now that I have my estate plan in place. Thanks to Matt Gutman and Jamie.
Get everything you need for the entire job delivered. From lumber to drywall, flooring, and fixtures, get it all delivered from the Home Depot. With same day, next day, or any day delivery. Staying on track and on time is crucial to your job. That's why it's our job to get you what you need when you need it. We deliver the supplies. You deliver the results. Brought to you by the Home Depot.
Time to find out how it's moving on the roads and what's moving in via the skies. This is traffic and weather together on CCO, starting with a check of the commute.
A single contractor and construction company for all your home improvement needs. LindisConstruction.com. Southbound 35W still slow from downtown Minneapolis through Richfield toward 494, while northbound traffic remains crowded approaching the crosstown from Bloomington. Highway 169 between Pioneer Trail and Anderson Lakes Parkway in Bloomington. Look out for an accident. That one will cost you about 12 minutes backed up over there. Upgrade your roof now with GAF asphalt shingles. Built for beauty, strength, and long-term performance that's designed to stand up to tough Midwest weather. Go to LindisConstruction.com. That's a look at the roads. I'm Darren Kmeyer, Newstalk 830 WCCO.
Hungry? Go to Dickey's Barbecue Pit of Egan for real Texas barbecue. All meats smoked fresh in-house daily. You can dine in, take out, have it delivered, or have your event catered anywhere in the metro. Just go to Dickeys.com. Dickey's Barbecue Pit of Egan, the Twin Cities catering leader.
Now, the latest conditions and the outlook for the next few days with your CCO forecast.
Dickey's Barbecue Pit of Egan bringing us the rather dumpy forecast from Chris Schaefer.
Sky clears out tonight and the temperatures plummet down to 40 around the Twin Cities. It will be colder to the north and west where there are frost advisories and freeze warnings. Plenty of sunshine tomorrow, a light wind, a high of 64. Pretty nice day. Even warmer on Thursday with a high of 68. Looking ahead to Memorial Weekend. Little rain expected on Friday, warming into the 70s and 80s by Saturday, Sunday, and Monday.
Right now in downtown Minneapolis, it's cloudy. It's 56 on CCO.
You're listening to Drive Time with DeRusha.
That's my favorite thing to do.
It is one of my 2 or 3 favorite things to do, whether it's in the office, it's in town.
It doesn't matter. There's nothing better.
On News Talk 830 WCCO.
Want to give a shout out to Suzanne in Minneapolis who won our Twins Ticket Tuesday giveaway today. Make sure you listen every Tuesday. We give away a 4-pack of tickets on the home of the Twins. WCCO. Suzanne's going on Sunday, June 7th, which is pretty cool.
Twins pregame coming up at 6 o'clock as they take on the Houston Astros once again. Without, unfortunately, Ryan Jeffers broke a hamate bone in his wrist. He'll be out 6 to 8 weeks, it sounds like. after some surgery. Not good there.
And Jeffers has been just
red hot.
Bummer. The team won last night, had a good outing from their kind of young pitcher.
Kendry Rojas came over in the Louis Varland trade, and the idea ultimately is for him to be a starter. He's been pitching out of the bullpen so far for the Twins this year, but four brilliant innings from him before Simeon Woods Richardson took over and did fine. So maybe there's a combo platter there you can figure out.
State legislature adjourned. They did more than I expected, and Republicans got more wins than I expected. My take is that Republicans won this legislative session. No change to gun laws, no taxes increased. They got property tax relief, license tab relief. I'm trying to find the loss for Republicans, and I don't see it. Blois Olson is the more expert when it comes to the take. You listen to him on Morning Take with Vanita, Sunday Take, right here on CCO, and a special drive time take with us. Blois, did the Republicans win the session?
You know, I don't know that. I think both sides have things they can point to, but I think your take is off.
Okay. Why?
So one of the things to think about is that the driver's tab fees and the property tax relief is one time. It is not permanent, okay? And if you listen to Republicans, they want permanent, long-term savings, right? And
sounds like a good
for the long time.
Sounds like a good campaign issue to run on in November, right?
No, I agree. They can point to that, but Democrats have the advantage of the ongoing revenue after this, so that the forecast, which comes out in December for the next legislature, will look like they have a lot of money again. And then they could decide to make things permanent should they have the majority. Now, we are 169 days from today. You and I will be warming up for election night. Then on a Tuesday in Minnesota. But for now, this session is kind of a look. They got a lot more done than I think people expected them to get done. And I think that's because they both had things they really wanted to fight for. But they left a lot on the table for each side to criticize.
I expected almost nothing to be done. So I'm with you. I was surprised that they did as much. The HCMC aid, that it became quite obvious that something was going to need to be done there. Again, my perception of this, and look, my analysis is coming from the fact that the Democrats had a 1-vote margin in the Senate. The House was tied. So nobody really had much room. In a way, everybody had bargaining power. Everybody had power, but nobody had power, right? Because it was so narrowly divided. But the HCMC...
Everybody had leverage. Nobody had power.
Bingo. So HCMC, it was pretty obvious that something was going to need to be done there. But again, Republicans fought off the idea that there would be an ongoing tax hike or that they were going to reassess, move the stadium tax to HCMC. It seems to me that Republicans wielded their leverage a little more effectively than Democrats did.
Well, I think they levered the populist issues better. Property tax relief, car tab fees, fraud measures.
Which car tab wasn't even an issue really on the legislative radar until it was, right?
Yeah, no, I mean, it became a big issue. I think it was one of those back pocket issues that Republicans are like, oh, here,
we could drop this.
Let's talk about affordability and then show you that your tab fees are 5 to 10 times higher than Wisconsin. And that's where I do think Republicans start to have the longer term advantages, the cost of living in Minnesota and the quality of life. The other thing I would just say, and not that we need to get into the mechanics, but it was actually the Senate who first said, you're not expanding the sales tax in Hennepin County. And it was Ann Rest, the outgoing DFL tax chair who said that will not be the Senate's position. And the irony is that was the Hennepin County Board position. And so they wanted all the money for all the things.
Yeah.
And both sides of the legislature said, yeah, we're not doing that. A, it would set a really bad precedent for other counties. And B, Hennepin County is not known for being frugal, as they say, when you're planning your parents' retirement.
Ann Rest is going to be missed, isn't she?
Oh, big time. Yeah, no, big time missed. And look, we are going to have 20% of the legislature gone. The running tally at Fluence Advisory is over 500 years of legislative experiences walking out the door.
So are we going to get some
major?
Are we going to get some of the clown show antics that we see more at not only the Minneapolis City Council, because you see it in plenty of suburban city councils or county boards? Are we going to see more of that at the legislature because of the turnover, you think?
I think so. Today filings opened because we can't have a day off, Jason.
Right.
From politics. So today filings opened, and we're going to track all 201 legislative races. Obviously, the governor's race is going to be carefully watched. But you're going to see, there's just a mindset. Ann Rest said it when I interviewed her for the Sunday Take. Used to be that you became a policymaker when you entered the Capitol. But both Republicans and Democrats have much more activist-minded people. Look at the DFL sit-in for 2 days. That's activist behavior. That's not policymaker behavior.
Yeah.
And that changes the way things get done. We saw a lot of it in the 23-24 session with the trifecta. And I think that's what people are expecting. But I also note that we don't know the people who are running that well. And I talked to a candidate today who's knocking on doors in a suburban swing district, and candidate said, look, I'm at the door, I'm knocking on independent doors, and they're just looking at me sideways like, you're all nuts. Who's going to fix anything? And I think that's the mood of Minnesota right now.
Blois Olson is with us. The gun issue and the school safety issue. I have disappointments on many angles here. The fact that we couldn't have separated these into individual bills so we could have at least passed some of the safety type things that there is bipartisan agreement is depressing to me. I also am disappointed that we didn't really get a robust conversation about these issues. The House spent a day sort of, parroting the usual partisan viewpoints. The Senate bill was passed on an exact party line vote when there is not exact party line agreement on this stuff. What is your take on that whole discussion around guns and safety and violence?
My take is that you're disappointed because I'm disappointed that you thought you were going to get something else. From August to 3 days ago, we did have a discussion. The challenge was, and I do lay this a little bit at the feet of the governor. He came out, he said he was calling a special session, and they called his bluff.
Yeah.
If he calls a special session in August or September and keeps calling them back till they do something, even if they don't do something, then we do have a statewide debate and discussion before the legislature. And
it's a good point.
I just think
it's a fair point.
That's where if you're gonna say you're gonna do it, you got to do it. It's the first rule in politics.
Do you expect under the next governor that this will be a different priority level?
Look, I think that it's like many issues where it polls really well, but it's not a first tier what voters are going to vote on issue. And we saw that a couple of years ago. I think, look, this election is going to be about the economy. It's going to be about affordability. It's going to be about trust in democracy and the system. That's what people keep asking me about. I think there's more people turned off than ever before. But I said to somebody today, and I haven't written this yet, but I might write it in the next 6 weeks or so. is you could see rural America back to Obama numbers if this economy does not improve. Because Barack Obama won rural counties in Minnesota.
Yeah.
And remember, we were in the Great Recession. It's not like John McCain wasn't an inspiring opponent, but change was the message. And then on the other side, in 2006, the year before 2008, or the cycle before, Tim Pawlenty won statewide, even though George Bush was unpopular, because they thought Tim Pawlenty was doing a good job running the state. And I think two things could be true. Democrats could have a huge surge in the legislature, and you could have a Republican governor. I think that's how volatile Minnesota looks right now.
Lois, great stuff. Thank you. Lois Olson with us with the Drive Time Take. Back in just a minute before the Twins pregame on CCO.
Drive Time with DeRusha is fueled by Luther Kia of Bloomington. Go see Dan Dingman and the crew today, or always online at lutherkiaofbloomington.com.
Let's talk about insurance. Let's talk about your home and your auto, and you deserve to have your property taken care of. You deserve the peace of mind that comes with insurance, but what you don't want are the headaches. Nobody's got the time. Nobody wants to be wasting money. Nobody wants to be unsure if they're getting a good value for their money. The Canopy Group has solved all of that for me. It's Jason for the Canopy Group, thecanopygroup.com. Their hallmark is the best coverage for the best price. 800-967-3389. What I love about the Canopy Group is that by reaching out, you make the phone call or you go to the website to get a quote. So easy, so painless. You share what your deductible is, you share what your coverages are, and they go to work. Because you have one insurance agent who represents one company. They have 50 employees who represent 16 companies. So they're comparison shopping for you. They are the ChatGPT of insurance for your home and your auto. Go to the real AI. It's the Canopy Group. The best coverage. You deserve it at the best price. Thecanopygroup.com.
You know when your air conditioner chooses the hottest day of the year to quit? Yeah, that's exactly what a proper tune-up helps prevent. At Metro Heating and Cooling, our complete professional AC tune-up is just $109 because we do more than the bargain guys. We inspect the system, test performance, clean critical components, and catch small problems before they turn into expensive breakdowns. So before the heat really hits, protect your comfort, your wallet, and your family. Call 214-304-7658 now and schedule your 109 AC tune-up with Metro Heating and Cooling. Done right the first time, so you stay cool all summer long.
Gas prices are up. Luther Kia of Bloomington is there for you. It's Jason DeRusha. I love my Kia, and I love Dan Dingman and his team, plus their brand new facility. More room, more service bays, more Kia excellence. EVs, hybrids, the red hot 2027 Telluride. I just test drove it. It is awesome. Get to 35W and 494 and check out 0% financing on Sportages and Sorrentos at LutherKiaofBloomington.com.
Support comes from Amazon Business. You can't rely on guesswork to run your business. With smart business buying, innovative AI tools optimize your purchasing experience, paired with delivery options built for business. Empower your team today. Learn more at AmazonBusiness.com.
They may take our furniture, but we'll give them freedom. During Borofka's Memorial Day event through June 8th, free Metro delivery with a furniture protection plan. Free, no interest, no down payment financing for up to 24 months. And up to $200 in free trade-in cash. It takes a brave heart to give folks all this freedom.
Oh, Jim. Borofka's. No gimmicks, haggling, or hard-to-understand pricing.
In Minnetonka, Woodbury, and Burnsville. Decidedly different.
Hi, I'm Dr. Mary Claire Haver, a board-certified OBGYN and menopause specialist. My new podcast, Unpaused, is the place for bold, unfiltered conversations about what it really takes for women to thrive in the second half of life. Every week, I sit down with medical experts, cultural icons, and powerhouse women to talk about what really matters. New episodes drop every Tuesday. Listen to and follow Unpaused with me, Dr. Mary Claire Haver, available now wherever you get your podcasts.
Pump up the volume. Business moves fast. Pump up the volume. When you ship with USPS Ground Advantage, you can keep up with confidence. Visit USPS.com/Ground Advantage to learn more.
Time to find out how it's moving on the roads and what's moving in via the skies. This is traffic and weather together on CCO, starting with a check of the commute.
Traffic is brought to you by USPS Ground Advantage. Westbound 94 continues slow from downtown St. Paul toward Minneapolis with delays near 280 and the Alary Tunnel. 169 northbound is dragging due to an accident between Pioneer Trail and the Anderson Lakes Parkway. Expect a 10-minute delay over there. Things are slow on Highway 100 northbound from Crosstown to just north of Highway 7 due to an accident. That's a look at traffic. I'm Darren Kmeyer, News Talk 830 WCCO.
It is barbecue season in Minnesota. That means Minnesota pork. Pig farmers in our state care so much about the environment, their animals, and their communities. Get the best protein around for the best farmers around. Minnesota pork. Oh, yeah.
Now, the latest conditions and the outlook for the next few days with your CCO forecast.
All right, forecast brought to you by Minnesota Pork Board. It is cold and it's going to be chilly at least the next 24 hours. Tonight down to 40. We got a frost advisory and freeze warning outside the metro overnight. Tomorrow, 64 is all we'll see. It'll be sunny at least. Thursday, 68. Just not a warm stretch here in nearing the end of May. Right now, it is, I don't know, 56. Bring a sweater to the ballpark on CC.
Your daily detour into sharper conversation. Drive Time with DeRusha on News Talk 830 WCCO.
I would run through a fire just to be by your side.
Royce was sent down to AAA. Had to happen, Dan. It had to happen.
It did. I'm more curious to see what the explanation is behind calling up Oswaldo Arcia instead of Kalen Culpepper to replace him. That's going to be the intrigue here.
Little surprising. Jeffers out with that fracture, but sort of an astonishing turn of events with Royce Lewis.
He just hasn't been able to get it going, and it's clearly weighing on him mentally. And
I mean,
especially with losing Jeffers in the offense, you can't have a giant hole in
and
the
he's
lineup
got to
like
get right.
Yep.
He's got to get right. So we're cheering for him. You'll be able to see him in St. Paul with the Saints, but he's going to get it together. But he can't strike out a third of the time, which is what we've been seeing so far. All right, enjoy the Twins game. I hope if you're going, you're bundled up. Continental time check, 5:57. Time for us to get out of here. See you tomorrow.
This is an important notice to all U.S. taxpayers. The IRS is